So I'm guilty of that myself. I socialize a lot, but I feel like the event itself should speak for it. If people don't catch the vibe there and just go to the party just to socialize, that's what I judge. That's where I'm like, that's not what you should be here for, unless it's just a pop-up, you know, motel pop-up is like the spot to just like socially engage with people and like a really fun spot to get drunk. But my perspective on that is also, as someone that like takes a lot of time and really cares for what I put out as a DJ. I know that there's a lot of other DJs that do that as well, where they will like spend hours like picking songs and like finding new songs and buying songs and then putting them all together and like planning out like, oh, this could go cool with this track, and like doubling with this would go cool, and then tripling and whatever. And having people that put that much passion into something that they just want to put out and like they want to provide this experience, I feel like that's where like it's a little problematic in my head, where I'm like, it's a little annoying.
Welcome to another episode of the Sweet Talking Podcast with me, your host, Nefertiti. And we are joined for episode 37 with my guest. We're going to be learning more about her very, very soon. But before we jump into things, I want to say a very special thanks to, first of all, everyone who has been keeping an eye on my channel on YouTube. Thank you all so much for your continued support. If you've been watching my podcast episodes for however long, if you, any like or comment or just interaction with it is very much appreciated, whether you've been watching or otherwise. Thank you all so much on YouTube for continuing to support the work that I'm doing here. And if you feel so inclined as to want to support what I'm doing and want be a more integral part of what I'm trying to create here on both YouTube as well as on Twitch, I would very much encourage you all to please take a look at my Patreon. My Patreon supporters are the ones who are to some degree allowing me to do more of what I'm able to do, and they're enabling me to do more, not just for my community, but also in terms of content creation, and giving me the motivation that I need to continue to produce what I produce. You can subscribe to me on patreon.com/Nefertiti with one I. Please do check that out, and we'll be doing another little bit of a reminder at the end of tonight's podcast. But I absolutely wanted to say thank you to all of my supporters. All right, so again, thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy tonight's conversation with me and Luna this evening. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into things. So again, I'd like to introduce you all to I would say a friend of mine. She and I met somewhere in the vein of like, I would imagine, give or take 5, maybe 6 months ago, possibly something like that. Time is weird.
Checks out, yeah.
Yeah, about 5 or 6 months ago.
On a small boat.
On a small boat, listening to Turquoise, who also I've interviewed. Please do check out Turquoise's interview, by the way. Super informative. And yeah. So, but we haven't really, we have had a chance to talk and hang out. But it's always been like at an event. It's never really been like, I mean, I guess there was that one time we did hang out, like just one-on-one. But we were just it was kind of like run of the mill, and you were super tired and it was super late for me. So there wasn't really much like deep conversation going on. But like, this is like, I guess, our first time being able to like sit down and like have like a deep conversation about like stuff and things, about like who you are and like what kind of got you to where you are, and just getting to know you as a person a lot better. So thank you for being on the Sweet Talking Podcast. Appreciate that, Luna.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel honored.
Yeah.
You're such a darling.
Oh, no. I'm doing my best, just like the rest of us, but I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. So, to kind of kick things off, I know what your pronouns are, but just for everyone else, I want to make it abundantly clear. What are your pronouns? Coming straight from you directly.
go in she, her is always my preferred.
Okay. Fantastic.
I
Fantastic.
identify as a female,
All right.
a woman.
Okay. All right. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, you're looking quite fabulous. Like all in all, you're looking very, very,
Thank
very.
you, man.
Like you're dressed quite nicely.
Thank
so,
you.
hell yeah. Hell yeah. So I guess we can kind of start at the very beginning, like I do with most of my guests. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are? Just kind of introduce yourself to someone or to people who may not know who you are, as there are a number of people in my community who don't know who you are. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hi, I'm Luna. Yes. Basically, very open, hyper productive, very ADHD, kind of all over the place, connecting with lots of people, like socially approachable most of the time. I love music. I love arts, and I express myself throughout the music and the avatars. I see them as like a passion project. Avatar creator, world creator, a founding member of PSHQ, another passion project of ours, me and my best friends. That's basically surface level what you need to know about me so far.
All right, cool. Thank you very much for that. We'll be diving into a number of those topics later on. So brace yourself for that. I try to ask pretty like deep questions. I want to really like get to know the person. So and I know nothing is off limits. So I'll do my best to ask some really prodding questions. But based on what you've shared with us already,
I'm prepared.
Hell yeah. I know you can handle it. So based on what you've just shared with us, can you let us know how did you come up with the name Luna Moonlight? Where does that come from? What's the origin of that name?
Okay, so Luna Moonlight is basically originally before transitioning, my name was that name drop Memi Moonlight. Moonlight specifically because I've always felt like a really strong connection to the moon. I've had friends that I made music with. We were like a little group called the Moonlight Clique, and we would always hang out at night at full moons, just stargazing. And I don't know, I've always been very night active. I've always been very connected to the moon, and then transitioning, decided to go with Luna because obviously Luna, moon.
Yes.
I'm planning on removing the moonlight part of my name because some people still call me Moon, and I'm like, Moon is kind of not, call me Luna, it's the best way to approach me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is basically the origins.
Yeah.
Is because the moon is cool.
The moon is definitely cool. I obviously, I think anyone who doesn't think the moon is cool, or at least breathtaking to some degree, is they're missing out. They're missing out on life.
Totally.
So when
They do.
yeah. So when people meet you, how do you I guess what is the energy that you aim to give off? I know you shared a little bit about that in your description, but what's kind of the energy that you hope people get from you when they encounter you in general?
What I hope people get is just a little bit of a powerhouse, a little bit. So I get that people are a lot intimidated of me a lot because I'm very unfiltered when it comes to I'm very direct. I never talk around. I literally just cut to the crap and get just straight to your face. If you make me uncomfortable, you will immediately know. Doesn't mean I hate you or something. So the energy that people perceive me as sometimes is a little more harsh than I would like. Because I can be a sweetheart, you just have to not make me uncomfortable. If I can say it like that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think everyone in VRCHAT or just in general wants to be around people that are generally respectful of each other,
Yeah.
and not actively trying to make someone feel uncomfortable for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I totally
There
get
is
that. Go ahead.
tiny things immediately. There's like tiny things immediately that make me uncomfortable that are like very normal in VRChat. For example, I hate it if I don't know you and somebody comes up to me and is like, "Oh my god, cute," and then head pats me or boops me. Like, no, like please get as far away right now, or I'ma rip your arm off kind of deal. Like, that's things that are like very common for other people, not liked by me. Stuff like
Oh,
that is why people get immediately intimidated.
interesting. So
Don't touch me.
so you go against the grain when it comes to like immediate like physical interaction with people. So you go
Exactly.
yeah, you don't follow the VRChat conventions of greeting people.
Yeah. I think there should always be a level of consent before touching. Sometimes people come up and they're like, "Oh my god, I've seen you here and there. Is it okay if I like hug you or like if I give head pet you?" I'm like, if they ask, I can still say no, and most of the time I'll be like, "Yeah, sure, of course, go ahead." It's like whatever. I take no damage from that. Okay, but asking is an immediate point of like reference. Okay, that person is respectful. They don't break your boundary just because they think it's okay. And I don't know, just physical contact. It's not just me, it's my friends that I hang out with as well. It's like none of us go up and like head pet someone else or like boop someone and do that stuff, you know? So, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So, that makes sense. I mean, like, I can definitely relate because I feel like there are some people who like it's not even like with people like interacting with me in general in that regard or anything like that. It's more so for me. It's like people I've heard that people are intimidated by me just for me like existing. So it's like I'm always very surprised by that because like I feel like I too am a sweetheart, but like I definitely get the feel of like, you know, people just kind of reading you wrong or like just like I guess being like, you know, because of the way that being straightforward and being honest is very much kind of not seen as the norm in VRChat. I think a lot of people in VRChat, the average user is very very soft and, you know, like touchy-feely and not very straightforward. But then you get you know anomalies every so often, and we kind of you know go against the grain, I guess. But you know, I mean, like obviously you're a sweetheart. Obviously, like I think I'm pretty nice when it comes down to it. So you know, I definitely get that feeling of being misunderstood in that regard. But hey, you know, I'm sure you don't let it bother you. You don't lose sleep over it. I'm sure.
No, really not. I mean, there have been a couple of cases where like there was maybe 1, 2, or 3 people in the scene that I was like, they still kind of are like odd to approach because I feel like they either don't like me or like they are intimidated by me, and I'm like, please, I'm just like trying to connect. You friends of my friends, like friends of my close friends. Like if my close friends like you, there's a chance that I will like you too, and you will like me too. But hey, I don't ever like push myself on people. If they don't feel like interacting with me, it's like whatever at the end.
Yeah, that's fair. We can't change how people perceive us. We can't worry about how other people react to us for sure. So
Exactly.
hell yeah. So where are you from?
I am from Germany.
Okay.
I'm Turkish. My parents, my entire family is Turkish, and my parents moved here at a very young age. I was born and raised in Germany.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I have wanted to ask you that for the longest time. So we're kind of like getting the basic stuff out the way, because like I'm like, hey, yeah, I know you know Luna is my friend, but I have no idea where she's from. It's just like like, well, yeah, some friend I am, you know. But it's good to know.
It's okay. It's okay. Honestly, I mean, I don't know if some people immediately can tell by my accent. Others are like, oh, I thought you're from the United States. Some other people are like, oh, I thought you're like wherever the hell out of Europe. And I'm like, cool. All these like amalgamations of people just assuming is very interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah. What Actually, I will ask that later on. I won't ask that right now if I can remember. But okay. So great. So let's kind of move into just kind of VR chat and
Mm-hmm.
let's talk a little bit about that. So, how did it all begin for you? How did you end up in VR chat?
Oof. Oh my god. Back when I was living with my ex-partner at the time, I would come and visit my parents every now and then for like a weekend or so. And I remember my sister just got the Index, and I was always really interested in trying the virtual reality. I've always been like really deep into roleplay and stuff like that. So I was really interested in VR chat, but mainly it was like test it out with a homie. We started like just, you know, the typical pipeline. You get into VR chat because you saw some meme YouTubers do some funny stuff and scaring people in funny meme avatars, and that's how it started out. Black cats, midnight rooftops. Eventually, I met people that I like hung out every day almost immediately. I made a couple of friends like right away, and my pipeline was going on desktop for about 2 months, and then I remember very vividly, like there was this moment where like I got my headset with two of my IRL friends that I've known for over 10 years, and I was like, whoa, this feels insane. Like I can move my hands, I can like touch people, and I feel like I was always like, what do people mean with phantom sense? Because on desktop you have no idea, right? And then you get in VR and all of a sudden like, oh okay, like I feel the tinglies when I touch people. Is that phantom sense? I guess, yeah. And I was hooked. Full body came in and I was even more hooked.
Yeah, and
That's how it started.
yeah, that's definitely a relatable experience of just like you get into VR chat. Like for me, it was the opposite. It was like I heard about this magical thing called Phantom Sense, and then I get into VR, and I'm like, I can touch things and I have hands or whatever, and I'm like, what is this magical thing? Because I apparently don't have it. So like it's just some people are just blessed with it for whatever reason. It's very, very interesting. It's a very interesting topic of conversation for me personally.
Oh yeah.
Of like trying to understand like why some people get it and some people don't, kind of thing. But definitely something I've been kind of I like to ask people about. So like how long ago was this? And, like based on this is like we're filming this in this is April of 2024. So people are gonna like really get a sense of how long ago this is coming out. But anyway, how long ago was it since you first got into VRC?
Almost exactly 2 years ago. 2 years and a couple months, like 2 years and 3 months or something. I started in January 2022 is when I like actually like got it on my own PC. I downloaded it, and that's when I like started getting addicted to it. Which definitely also like getting into VR chat comes with like the horrible thing of me adjusting my sleep schedule to the US people, because I've always been like more connected to the US people. And yeah, my work suffered from that. My relationship at the time suffered from that. But at the end, it was like, oh, it's whatever. Like it's okay. I can get used to it.
Gotcha. So
2 years.
So what you're saying is VR chat basically ruined your relationship or hurt your relationship in a way at the time?
It definitely drove like a little wall between us simply because of the sleep schedule. Not because not because of my girlfriend at the time. Like she even tried VR chat. Like it was more like she would always wake up early. And I would go to sleep around the time she goes to work, and then when I wake up, I do work from home, from my home office, and then I wake up when she's done with work, and then I have to work myself, and then I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to like hang out now, like I just worked, let me like relax for a little bit, and then I was like, oh, but I also want to go to this party in VR chat, so I was like, kind of dividing all the times, because VR chat was like immediate hyper addiction.
Gotcha. So you're using the word addiction. To what degree do you consider? I mean, you've been in VR chat for You said 2 years and 2 months, 2 years and 2 months ish.
2 years and a couple months.
Couple months, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's almost about as long as I've been in VRChat also, which is very very interesting. But you use the term addiction. Can you describe like what that looks like for you in terms of VRChat?
I can cut it really short. 2 years and I have almost 8,000 hours in the game. If you know. It's like waking up with a new avatar. Like I make my avatars, since like a couple of months into the game, and then it's been like, oh, I got this new avatar. I want to be in it. And then there's been like, there was been streaks where I was like sleeping in VR, and then I woke up with my headset on, and I joined Discord in VRChat, just plugging my controllers in and charging, and just being in Discord using virtual webcam and like recording myself, my avatar as my webcam in VRChat, just talking to my friends for hours before they all got into VRChat. And then I unplugged my controllers and we went to parties and I was in VR all the time, like it was really bad. It still is really bad. Like it's not as bad as it used to be, because eventually you slowly get burnt out on stuff, and then you kind of miss doing stuff and like feeling the excitement of, oh my god, all this is like so fresh and new and exciting. And now it's just like the excitement of, oh, my friends, like I have 5 friends on this and this lineup, I want to go to this party, and then I don't know, snuggle and pass out.
Yeah.
Drunk, like yeah. So it definitely changed, but I get every now and then I get like a little bit of a boost where, like, especially recently, I'm like, ooh, I just want to be in VR because I love being in my avatar. Like this is like a full expression of myself. I feel the most comfortable. Like this is just that's it. I'm like chest kiss to myself, I want to be in this all the time.
Yeah, I can definitely understand. Like it's I know earlier you mentioned that you have what's it called, you have experience with role playing. So like as someone who is like I'm actually a trained actor, and I also did a fair bit of role playing myself. So like it's very much like I can definitely relate to the desire to kind of be in an avatar and to kind of like embody a like you have the character, you have the avatar is the character, and you are like embodying it, even though like anyone else could like put on like I could clone your Abby if I could, but I couldn't wear it the same way that you could. It's a different kind of thing. It's a different kind of experience entirely. But like when you find a look that works for you and you want to just be in that all the time, I most definitely can relate to that. And like I think a lot of people think I'm a little kind of wonky because like I do kind of shift my personality based on the avatar that I'm in. So it's I that sounds like something that you relate to. Obviously, you have the avatar that you have now, but what do you have to say about that?
It's a little less. I wouldn't call what I do at the moment. I wouldn't call myself role playing at all. I don't shift.
Yeah.
I don't shift my behavior or my personality because I am me. I'm very authentic. This is exactly what you get. Like my personality is the exact same you get IRL. Like I don't try to put on a character or a face as in like, oh, this is not me, but I want to embody this avatar. It's basically the reverse. I want the avatar to fit my personality.
Right.
And that is why I feel so comfortable in this, because this is a work of like over almost 2 years at this point, and I keep touching it up and like adding new stuff and like testing out new stuff. And very recently I hit that wall where I'm like, I don't think I can improve beyond this. This is like as close as I can get to
an idealized
what I want to be like. Exactly. Yeah. This is exactly the idealized look of my personality. I'm very far away from role playing now. I would consider myself more like a role player in the beginning of VRChat. That's why I was drawn in the first place.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I do want to clarify that like how I conduct myself in VRChat is not an act. I know I know you clarified that really well, and I thank you for that. Like I definitely like I look for avatars that fit my personality, but I'm always kind of surprised when I end up in an Abby that actually fits me. Like I'll identify something. Like I still haven't really kind of done the kind of work that you have on your current avatar, that like I would like to do that kind of work, to kind of build on something that is like very much like ideally me, but instead I'm having to flip between different avatars that kind of tap into aspects of who I want to be, or aspects of my personality that I'm expressing in that moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely like I would like to just have like a fully like realized version of myself that I can use in all situations. That'd be really, really cool to have, and I can definitely can see that. But I just want to clarify that for people who may be watching. Like I'm not out here role playing myself in VR chat. What you get on camera is essentially the same person, just a little more chilled out. But anyway, back to you. So with that in mind, you said you've been working on this Abby for somewhere in the vein of like since I guess since everything kind of began for you in VRChat. Was it just your desire to be a part or to be in VRChat that drove you to learn Unity, or did you already have experience with Unity, Blender, before you jumped into VRChat?
No, it was that actually genuinely the interest in creating something myself. I only bought like a handful of avatars, to be fair. I almost immediately, like, the first avatar that I ever edited was gifted to me, and then that's how I like got the hang of it, and like I learned how to like do everything in Blender and like do all the, you know, the weight painting, yada yada yada. And then essentially I just bought body bases and head bases and sculpted them and like did all my own stuff to them. Went into completely re-rigging some stuff for better movement, so it like matches my IRL movement better. And then very recently a body base came out called the Venus version 2 by I think the creator is YUNA, and I tested it, and ever since then I have been in love. This is like the perfect body. It's, oh my god. I could gush over it. It's, IK is beautiful. The proportions are really realistic. God, it is so good. If you have never tested the Venus version 2, please buy it and test it. I can recommend it to anyone.
Okay. Nice. All right, yeah. That's, I mean, I'm always impressed with people who find themselves learning new skills because of VRChat. And a lot of people that I've interviewed have basically become, avatar creators, world creators, because of just their experience in VRChat and how much VRChat has impressed them and inspired them to take their skills up to a new level. So I love that. I love that for you. And I wish I were the same, but I guess for me it became streaming and content creation. So I guess in a different way, kind of like VRChat influenced me in that way too. So but yeah, great. So given that you have a very strong affinity for VRChat and the fact that you somehow have been able to rack up, I want to say, nearly like almost 4 times the amount of time that I have. I'm at 2,800-ish hours, and you're at 8K plus. So that's impressive in and of itself. But I mean, again, like if you spend a lot of time here, spend a lot of time here. But once you've spent a lot of time here, like you I guess, how has spending so much time in VRChat changed, if at all, your perception of reality in comparison? And has it affected your perception of reality in any way?
That is a really good question. I would say it definitely has had an impact in anything else I see and how I act in reality. It's this is gonna sound pretty grim, but it's like made the IRL experience really, really depressing. Not because nothing is beautiful. I feel like since VRChat and there's so many people like, okay, this is like a personal gripe of mine. Lots of people because not a lot of people learn about doing avatars and like custom work on avatars and stuff. There's also people that look the same, and then you're always kind of in always the same environments of asset flipped stuff that you recognize here and there. So it's always kind of the same. That's where like I feel like it kind of made me realize how beautiful the real world is. As in, like I see so many faces, so much uniqueness, but viewing myself has become really hard for myself. As in, this is probably relatable for some people. I'm representing femme as much as I can, as long as I'm not around like family, home, etc., etc. So I'm technically closeted trans, which makes me not able to like go full on out and slut myself out.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
I get that. Yeah.
That's the hardest part, because I would love to like wear shit like this, like totally. This could 100% be me, comfortably me, because I've also been like very deep with like latex outfits and leather dresses and stockings and all that stuff. That's like completely down my lane, but yeah, not being able to just do this 24/7 is really stressful.
Gotcha. And would you say that that's where the addiction comes from? Just your ability to perceive yourself in an idealized fashion that makes you perhaps not want to engage with reality that much? Or that you deem it as quote unquote grim, depressing, even?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely. Um, there's multiple factors to this. It's also my social anxiety has grown immensely. So going into a social situation is making me just very anxious. Also, I started developing a huge fear of group of men. Like I will literally just like have a deep panic and like go into fight or flight mode whenever I see just a group of men standing somewhere. So like going out and partying, like I could. I have all the connections I need for that. It's just knowing that I would have to move through a lot of situations that make it really uncomfortable for me to engage. Uh, that's definitely like this is all from the comfort of my home, you know. Like I
Right.
can just put on the headset, you know, I take care of myself. I'm not like greasy, disgusting or something, but this is like makeup is always on. Makeup is always on point. Haircut is always on point. I never have a bad hair day, or like, you know, the makeup is also like consistent. There's no like, oh man, I got some on my lip or something like that. Or my outfits are never like slipping and uncomfortable. So like that's also cool. Partying, you know, I go into, I turn on the game, boom, in the world. Join there, boring. Join here, boring. Join there, cool party. I'm staying here, and then I'm done partying. Headset off, bed. I'm chilling. I don't have to go through any of the stress outside. No uncomfortable situations. No group of men to make me uncomfortable. I'm vibing.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. That freedom to just kind of express yourself, and we've talked about this I mean I've talked about this with a number of my other guests about feeling more comfortable, and finding a lot of comfort in VR chat because you're basically able to engage in a way that you wouldn't be able to IRL. It's just a different kind of experience, and you get to really kind of express yourself in the way that fits you specifically and fits the vibe that you want to portray to everybody. You don't have to worry about anyone perceiving you differently. It's just like whatever you're in, whatever abbey you're in at the time, that's how people are going to see you. And you don't have, like you said, you don't have to worry about makeup or bad hair. It's just like you're just there and you exist, and it's beautiful. And it's a lot of fun. So I think a lot of people can relate to that, especially people who are presenting femmes. So with regards to that, can we talk a little bit about that experience for you? Like being, wait, you say that you're femme, but you're like, is that for you? Is that like, do you use the term transgender, or do you prefer a different terminology?
I'm very transparent about it. So yes, I'm definitely trans. Like I'm trans. That's totally fine to be. Like if someone asks me, are you trans? I mean, my voice obviously gives it away. Like I'm not a cis female. Uh, there's some topics where I'm like talking with friends and I'm like, yeah, you know, maybe not asking is also not that bad. But I'm very transparent, so I'm speaking for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I say I'm femme. I'm representing femme, but I'm transgender. Like I'm a trans femme.
Okay. Okay. I wanted to make that
Yeah.
clear for not just myself, but for everyone else who's tuning in, because
Mhm.
I know for a lot of people it's a very very kind of touchy subject, and for me it's not
Mhm.
entirely touchy. I think it's it's just someone's unique experience, and I think it's important to like be
Yeah.
respectful of that. So with that in mind, like how did VRChat assist with you kind of reaching that conclusion about yourself, or did you already know about that prior to engaging with VRChat?
I've been always extremely sex positive. I've been connected to lots of sex positive spaces IRL, so I've interacted with the whole topic of transgender. My brother is trans, in fact.
Mm.
Um, and the thing is, I've always like kind of had a hint of it. I was always really comfortable in my body regardless. And but I was always like, I like makeup. I always had like long acrylic nails, and I liked femme-shaped clothing, crop tops, corsets, fishnets, whatever. I was always like kind of into that. But I never considered myself a cross-dresser because I still looked very masked. I had my beard. I had like, you know,
Mm.
but like with makeup and like femme clothing.
Okay. Okay.
And then eventually in VRChat, when I experienced like looking down and damn, I all of a sudden I have these chesticles, and I can express myself moving femme like even more comfortably
Mm.
because uh, I always used to dance kind of femme as well. Like I won twerk battles. So
Damn.
it's
Damn.
like,
Okay. Okay.
um, so I've always kind of had that, and then seeing that actually in full motion in a feminine body, in a female body, with the outfits that I would wear IRL, and that I was like, yeah, definitely assisted to it. Like there's like a whole like pipeline of me going down the route of like, this feels nice, this looks nice. I prefer looking femme. Now I can look femme, and now I feel femme.
Mm. So it kind of all just came
Yeah.
together with your experience in VRChat. So basically it was before, like you were always kind of expressing yourself in a very femme way even prior to VRChat, and then VRChat just like, yeah, I'm gonna be like this all the time because it's very comfortable that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I get that. I get that. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, I think honestly anyone can relate to that. Like even if regardless of whether someone being trans or not, I think most people can relate to the idea of having an idealized version of themselves. And I think in VR chat it gives us the opportunity to really engage in those sorts of that sort of like exploration. VR chat is very
Yes.
exploratory
Exactly.
in that regard, and yeah, so I think a number of people can relate to just finding a look that is like that reflects their soul. And like I say this all the time when I'm talking to people, like one on one usually. It's like um I'm always on I'm always on a journey to find abbeys that reflect my soul. It's not really how I look IRL, it's a reflection of my soul, of just how I
Yeah.
perceive my inner self. And I think that's pretty I think that's pretty awesome, that the VR chat kind of gives us that ability to do that and to express ourselves in that
Exactly.
way. Hell yeah, hell yeah. So are you at all kind of affiliated or interact with like do you have any like groups of people that you hang out with that are also kind of in the same boat as you in that regard, or are you just kind of like just living your best life, doing your thing, or both perhaps?
When it comes to the group of people I hang with, it's like a huge mishmash. There's like people that are totally comfortable in their skin and how they are. There's people that literally match their IRL looks. And then there's also the people that are like me, that are like kind of like this is them, this is how they would like to express themselves, this is the looks they go for. Um, my best friend, in fact, is trans, not trans, femme representing, kind of femme leaning non-binary,
Mm-hmm.
and their view on like the whole sexuality and their body is extremely interesting. And the way they explain it makes so much sense. I don't want to go too deep into that topic because it's on them. That's that how deep it goes is like kind of on them to tell. It's not me, but like so there's definitely a slew of people, like a group of people that are like me. Then yeah, like I said, cis representing completely fine, non-binaries. But we are a very consistent group. Like you will literally see at least five of us at every party that one of us is at. Like we always go in like a pack.
Mm. Okay, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
just kind of hanging out with the people that that make us feel most comfortable. Makes sense, makes sense. Yeah.
exactly. Mhm.
So with regards to VR chat, I know there are I would say that there are kind of s- um categories of people who use VRChat. You know, we have the people who people who go clubbing. We have the people who are mirror dwellers. We have people who engage in like exploring different worlds. We have people who like cozy worlds. Like what kind of I guess what kind of VR chats what kind of VR chatter are you in that regard?
Oof. Mainly clubbing. I'm mainly at parties looking for the next best rave to go to attend with my friends. And but we mix it up every now and then. I guess I sometimes just cuddle with people, especially when it comes to my partner slash S partners. We usually get cozy and just hang out and snuggle, watch something. I don't know if with the personal mirror, could you consider yourself a mirror dweller 24/7? Because I basically literally 99% of the time when I'm hanging out with someone, there's my personal mirror like right next to them. If I had eye tracking, which I
Same,
will hopefully
same.
have in the near future, I it will be bad. It will be bad because my eyes will always like be shifted just slightly off to the side the person I talk to.
Yeah. Like eye tracking and like face tracking in general are like once that becomes like a commonplace thing, like the Vive has made that possible. I mean, other companies have too, but most
Hmm.
notably, Vive has made full body possible, and kind of like it's no longer a novelty kind of thing. It's kind of a thing that a lot of people have
Hmm.
these days. And so, like when the face tracking and eye tracking become like a standard, it's going to be very, very interesting. I think the level of
Hmm.
immersion is just going to go even higher. People are going to be that much more addicted to VRC because of
Yeah.
those very kind of intimate experiences. Like I have heard that just kind of speak frankly, I've heard that some people who engage in very promiscuous activities really do benefit from face and eye tracking for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
You definitely confirm that. Definitely confirming that that is a fact. I met someone that whose personality I wouldn't have found attractive at all, but they were like kind of nerdy, and I like nerds.
Mhm.
And they had 11-point tracking, face and eye tracking, um, including like tongue tracking and all that stuff, you know. And then they also had like a full body haptic suit and like uh, things to assist promiscuous activities. And it was an
Yeah.
experience. It
Oh,
was
oh,
quite the experience.
oh, I believe it. I believe it. Absolutely. Yeah. That's without a doubt, like I talk about these things on my podcast, like, like, people enjoy themselves in VR chat. Let's beat around the bush. We
Yeah,
have a good time in
yeah.
various ways. Um, as I continue to beat around the bush. Okay. People fuck. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's a good time. We enjoy ourselves. People cuddle. It's I think there are very, very intimate experiences that are had in VR chat for sure, and I can definitely relate to
Definitely.
having like a mirror up like all the time. I also have a mirror up all the time, because I'm always kind of watching my facial expressions, and just kind of
Yeah.
making sure that everything is in line with what I want to express in the moment. Because there's nothing more embarrassing than having like your tongue awkwardly out when you're trying to talk about something serious. And like that's pretty awkward. I'm sure that's happened to you, to everyone at some point in VR chat. Just like you're trying to talk about something serious, and like you do something with your hands, and then your face does something weird because it just kind of is. That's just how the technology is. Like we control our faces with our hands, kind of thing. But
With our fan, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I removed gestures completely. I only have a tongue out gesture, and it is an active toggle in my menu. Like I have to go into my menu and then click it, and that's what it looks like.
Oh, okay. So okay. Well, you do have a smile. Like you do have a smile as a like an automatic thing.
It's my trigger. I control it.
Oh yeah. Okay. So the majority of your triggers have been removed. Of your gestures have been removed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Like yeah. I think having a smile and maybe even like an angry face is just kind of a little bit,
Yeah.
of expression for sure. For sure.
Just a just a tiny one. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I agree.
Nice. So, with regards to just how, um, like just how much VRChat has made an impression on you, um, I'm, I would like to know, um, I guess um, it sounds like your experience with, being like, I guess stressed out or uncomfortable around groups of men, that sounds like something that developed as kind of an after effect of you I guess being comfortable with yourself. Was that before or after VR chat? And I guess how did that kind of happen, um, in terms of like your social anxiety in that regard?
It's before. I wouldn't say I had a fear of them. I was more like in a puff up your chest, lean the shoulders back, and get ready into like a intimidating pose and power walk past them, more kind of mode. Um,
Hmm. Okay.
that is kind of gone. I'm not even half as buff as I was like 3 years ago. Um, and now it's more like representing femme. First of all, representing femme in general. You wear stockings and people look at your legs. It's normal. I'm not opposed to being checked out or whatever.
Of course. Yeah.
But then the extra danger that comes up is you are a trans femme, and the moment that is like somewhat recognized by anyone, you get approached, and it happened to me once, and that was the one time that was the trigger for me to have a trauma response to a group of men.
Hmm.
People don't know how much a little actions have impact on other people's lives. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, all it takes is like one experience to really kind of, you know, um, kind of make someone always be on their guard. Which
Hmm.
I think that's how we've survived as a species. Really, it's kind of learning from the mistakes that or just like the interactions that have happened to us.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
that's how we're programmed. We're programmed to
Hmm.
respond negatively to negative stimulus, and so we respond in that way. And we want to stay away from those things so that we can survive longer. Ideally. But yeah, I
Exactly.
definitely can understand. Like that's like I can't I that is extremely traumatizing and extremely like worrisome, and I can understand why like you have that response to it. And I kind of just want to get a better understanding, like for people who may not kind of like have a conceptualization of it, like for people who may not like be femme presenting or even like mask presenting. um I'm sure it happens for both sides too.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
but yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I think it's good to know and to hear the stories of others, just to have a better understanding. Because I'm all about trying to understand
Hmm.
people. So, oh yeah. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Hmm. So, Um, what do you prefer more, reality or VR? And this is kind of maybe a silly question to ask, given everything you've said, but maybe I'll be surprised. What do you prefer more?
The feeling of an actual physical hug will never be worth less than a virtual one, and that's why I think I will always prefer the real life interactions more than virtual ones.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm extremely experienced IRL when it comes to pretty much anything uh, physical contact related, and nothing has been able to satisfy that itch in me through VRChat. So that's like the one thing that I'm missing is that specific component. Because cool visual stimulation, Phantom Sense, hug me, it's cute, it's cute, blah blah. But get out of here, bro. If you say that get out of here if you say that's better than IRL, man. Like, come on. You have to have the experience. IRL is unbeatable. Party wise, man, VR parties go hard. All from, like I said, all from the comfort of home. That is better. But physical contact, IRL.
Mm-hmm. And what about when the person that you met that had like 11-point tracking and like a haptic vest and like once technology kind of gets to the point where we can simulate or at least have some sort of sensation from like a hug or like from just like without having to trick our brains. It'll just kind of occur, and then the more we kind of have those like actual like those reactions that occur without us having to think about it, it becomes a part of our brain synapses. All in all, like we won't have to think about it because we'll just kind of register it all every time that it happens. So like, what about then? Do you think you'll still feel the same?
I think so. Even it wasn't only the one time that I experienced that with like 11-point tracking and face and eye tracking and stuff. There's since we're on the topic of like intimacy, specifically in that regard, there's always gonna be a disconnect of you having to put down a controller to do whatever you have to do to achieve your goals in that situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And IRL being able to just like grab onto them and like toss them around or like turn them around or like bend them whatever way you want to bend them or be bent. There's like the sheer force and like animalistic interaction will never be topped by VR for me personally. There's just so much visceral action and skin on skin that you don't get, and never mind how immersive that is. Like that person even had like pupils dilating with their heart rate. That was also really cool. Even that, like, it's cool. It's really fucking cool. It's like you're like fulfilling all my virtual fantasies. You're like the pinnacle of 3D interaction with someone through the internet. But no, I will always choose real skin over virtual.
And I don't blame you. Honestly, I don't blame you. There really is something unbeatable, like you said, about like skin on skin and just having like the immediate like satisfaction of being able to do what you want to do without having to like, sorry, I gotta turn my my trackers inside out. Sorry, give me like 2 seconds to like do that real quick. Like, there's nothing that like takes you out of it than that shit. Like, it's. But
really.
Yeah.
Like strictly recalibrate its T-pose while you're like full on like, come on, man. Damn.
Basically, yeah. But yeah, I completely agree. Like, as someone who is like I've had my own share of intimate experiences too. Honestly, like again, if you're spending like over like 1,000 hours in VRChat, the chances are you're doing something. Like you're spending your time in a very productive way, no matter what it is, and you're doing more than simply staring at a mirror, like fucking around with your friends. Like, it's like once you hit the like 1,000 hour mark, in like a span of like a year, you're doing much more than just just hanging out, you know?
Yeah.
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 So, what are your thoughts about, like, where would you like VR to go? Like, do you have any goals? Well, I mean, I guess, I think goals is a shitty word. Do you have any dreams that you would like? Where would you like VR to go, or where do you think VR technology is going? The hotness right now, but the hotness right now is artificial intelligence. VR starting to catch on with the normies. Where do you hope that VR goes? And well, let's just start with that. Like, where do you think, where you hope VR and AI goes to? If you have any thoughts.
I hope. My dream is... No, I have really strong opinions on it, actually.
Oh, great.
My biggest dream, and that is something that is a topic that like reoccurs, like I would say every 2 to 3 months, is if I can have what I have IRL when it comes to exactly the things that I was talking about. Like, let's say you take the skin-on-skin feel, but then you combine it with, you can, like, it's super realistic. Everything feels real, like your skin, everything, like it just, you become your avatar. And you just have the ease of, you can still open your menu and then go to a party and everything just loads in real time around you, and then you're just like there, and then you can like go up to a person and be like, hi, how are you doing? And they're like feeling the touch and everything is like, yeah, cool, and you can hug and you can actually take like a drink in virtual reality, and like there's some chip in your brain that like calculates this stuff, and you get like drunk or without like hurting your body or whatever, your liver. Technically a deep dive.
Yeah.
If a deep dive is ever possible, hook me up. Take my brain, hook it into a machine, and put me into space.
Hey.
I'm totally down for it.
Hell yeah. Okay. Like, see, now we're talking. I'm glad you have very strong opinions about this, because like I have very, very similar opinions about this. Like, I am very much into the idea. Like, though the concept of deep dive is like currently, it's currently still very like invasive and how it can be executed. It's definitely a problem. To executionally wise, it's a problem because it's a problem execution wise because you will be executed in most cases. Yeah, it's not really ideal in the state that it's currently in, like how we imagine it to be. But like, we have things like Neuralink, essentially putting the possibility of being able to become even more cyborgs than we already are, with our phones, for example, and now some of us with our headsets, to some degree.
Yes.
So yeah, like we're becoming very much kind of integrated with the technologies that we use, and I think it's only kind of a matter of time before we find a way to bypass the limitations that are kind of set via hardware. And we kind of move into like maybe a new form of technology, like brainware or whatever it gets called, neuroware or whatever it ends up being called, and then we kind of like engage with that, and then there's also like the problems of like people who do have the chip and people who don't have the chip. And the kind of like, you've been chipped? Oh, like I haven't been chipped, and people are like, what?
Oh,
like,
my god.
That sort of thing happening, because people have to create categories for everything and be like, all iffy about people being different, people concerning themselves with other people's differences and choices that they make about their lives and stuff. But yeah, like as you can tell, I'm very much kind of interested in this sort of thing too. So it's very, very cool that you have thoughts about that too. Like, do you have any additional thoughts with like Neuralink and things like that?
I have a question actually.
Okay, cool.
Immediately thinking, like, let's say we move into the future, right? Cyberpunk 2077, cool, cyber augmentations to enhance yourself.
Right.
I am a person that is like, I'm avid. Give me the cyber enhancements, rip my human arm off, give me a fucking, like, mantis blade arm, and let me be, like, like, powerful and crazy, and give me all this shit. Like, I would enhance myself. I'd become a cyber psycho. What is your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that really kind of boil down to, like, I'm very much the kind of person who I want more time. So anything that gives me more time to exist, I'm all for. So I think that I would like anything that would kind of reduce like the aging process of aging, or at least like reduce the process of cell death would be like ideal for me. Whatever nano machine enhancement that would be, I would be on board for that personally. As for like physical enhancements, I would like I think I would prefer to have like eyes, because like my eyes are terrible. My eyesight's pretty crap. So it would be nice to kind of have like clean eyesight while also still like having like eyes, whatever they may look like. Hopefully they don't look like goggles. They don't look like bug eyes or whatever. Like ideally I'd want them to be like actual like real like looking eyes, but I'm sure that'd be super expensive to achieve. I imagine there'll be like the people who can afford the eye cybernetic surgery. There'll be like the bug-eyed version, and then you have like the people who have like the money, and then they have like the actual like version of it. It's like glasses versus contacts kind of thing. Yeah. So I would definitely be down for enhancements. I don't think I would be readily like apt to like remove my hand or my arm and have like have that for me. I kind of like the biological aspect of it, but anything that would give me more time to achieve the things I'd want to achieve, or that would be something I would definitely be down for, including maybe even like Neuralink, and having the ability to like immediately just kind of put like having an overlay in real life, essentially like augmented reality. In that sense, like, well, I guess it would be mixed reality in that sense. But yeah, those are my thoughts about it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think my first enhancement would be interchangeable genitals. Can just have whatever the hell I want.
That's so real.
Pop that shit out. Time for a pussy tonight.
That's so real. Oh my god, that's so real. I love that. I never thought of that. I literally never thought of that. That's so fucking real. I think I'd be on board with that. I honestly think I'd want that too. To be real. Hell yeah. I love that. So like you're very much on board with just like welcoming in the future of like technology and embracing like becoming more in tune with technology.
Yes, totally.
Hell yeah.
I've always been a very I've always like kind of seen myself as a little OP. I don't know if that's like me sucking myself off right now, but like go in with time, really like just adjusting to whatever. Like there's literally Gen X or whatever the hell the newest generation is called, memes, and like my brain is just adjusting to it. And it's been the same with like pretty much the first time I saw someone with body modifications where they had like stretched earlobes and like a stretched septum piercing, and it's like all this metal and tattoos all over their face. And I was never one of those people that are like, oh my god, ew, look at that. I was always like, that is really interesting. I think that is really cool. Look at them expressing themselves, because it's their body. Who am I to judge that person? And it's just the same with technology. People be like, oh, this generation is lost, where they're all on their phones and headsets. I'm like, dude, embrace it. That's the future. If you're gonna whine about it, all you're gonna do is drag yourself down, because the future is not gonna give a single crap about your opinion about the generation. You're some tiny ant. Some people will just keep going with the technology, and those people will have the best lives because they keep adjusting to it and are not being like millennial boomer headasses. They're like, oh, woo, this generation. And then there's also the people that are like, I'm very sex positive, always has been, which is really chaotic for my family, because my family, like, I grew up Muslim. My parents were like strong religious Muslims, and they kind of like brainwashed my older siblings into it. And I was like, always like, and dude, people have sex, whatever. Like, oh my god, there's gay people. Oh, so horrible. And then my brother transitioned. I was like one of the only people in this family that like constantly was like behind his back and like pushing him and like listening to him like trauma dump while we were walking our dog for like 3 hours, trauma dump on me for all the pressure and stress, and then seeing him like slowly bloom into this beautiful, in tune with yourself person. Like, I've always been an advocate of go with what you like, go with the challenges and advancements that life gives you, and adjust to them. Never question anything, just go with it unless it's like morally incorrect and hurts people actively.
Right.
That's my standpoint.
Yeah. I think a lot of people in the latest generation are very much of the same mind. Like, as long as it doesn't hurt other people, do it up. You know, and also in terms of self-expression, like this is like probably the most self-expressive generation ever. I would say, like, the amount of people who are on board with self-expression in this day and age is probably the highest it's ever been.
Yeah.
So I think there are a lot of people who agree with you. I agree with you. I think as long as like finding a way to achieve a level of self-actualization is, I think, the key to living a good life, or at the very least living a life that at least for you can be worth living. I know a lot. I know that a lot of people in VRChat are like their reality is absolute trash, and they're able to establish like a good life here, instead of in reality. And I think that's great, but I think I also like it's important to be able to like it would be nice if we could do that in real life too, like IRL as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Ideally.
Exactly.
Do you find that your experiences in VRChat have influenced you and perhaps, I guess, made your experience in IRL better? I know we kind of talked about like how like you spend a lot of time in VRChat because like reality, you still find reality beautiful, but there's still aspects that are just preferred here in VRChat. But has VRChat actually helped you to sort out anything that has also kind of enhanced your life IRL?
If anything, it made me enhanced my IRL experiences. No, not really. If anything, kind of the negative, like the opposite. Like, I kind of forget like how accepting and amazing everybody here is. Like, there's so much talent, so many interesting people with insane experiences in life.
Yeah.
And then everyone is like respecting everyone else. Like, you're like a she. You're like they mispronounce you, and you're like, hey, I'm she, her, trans femme. It's okay. And they're like, oh, sorry. And then in IRL, like, they would just oh my god, I go on the fucking internet sometimes, and then I read all these like people complaining about an LGBTQ flag hung up somewhere, and I'm like, do you have nothing else to worry about? Homie?
Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah. It's the same thing with like carnivores hating on vegans. Like, just let them be. If a vegan is like, oh, I went vegan and I make this meal that is somewhat like meat, carnivores are like, oh, they try to eat meat so bad. We're like, no, they just find a health replacement that tastes and has the same like texture as meat. And that is something that I learned. Like, VRChat is so like everybody's so tolerant of everything. Hip, thank you. And then when I turn it off, I just realized, oh, well, this is a beautiful little bubble that I live in right now, so no, it doesn't enhance my life at all.
Okay.
Outside of here.
Gotcha. Which is okay. I think that's pretty reasonable. It's I have just found like that a lot of people, or I think a lot of people, I guess, underrate the potential that their experiences in VRChat give them, that allows them to perceive their reality in a more positive light. Or people downplay the value or the experiences that they've had in VRChat that they could actually apply to their IRL life to make their IRL life more bearable, Because, I very much kind of see VRChat as like a different kind of a second life of sorts. Like, you basically are able to be here and exist, and you live by the rules of virtual reality, the rules that have been set by the developers and by world creators, and we abide by these rules. But I would say mostly when it comes to our interactions with other people, or like you were saying, like how there's so many talented people, so many open-minded people. For some, I think it can give them a more positive outlook of reality. Because we do have the benefit of interacting with all of these people. And I truly do believe that like all of the quirky, creative, like talented people are here. and they're all here in VR chat for
That is
whatever
very true.
reason, which is wild. It's crazy, and like I love doing what I do because I have the opportunity to meet so many really awesome, really cool, talented people like yourself, and like I love that. Like I truly like enjoy that, and I value that a lot. But like just being able to kind of be yourself and have like a positive perspective of yourself in VR chat, I feel could potentially for some make their perception of themselves IRL a little bit better. Like maybe they learned something in VR chat that they didn't know before about people, or maybe they learned something about themselves that they didn't realize that applied to them, but because they were here, they learned something new, and then they could apply that to their life IRL, and it kind of removes maybe it removes like some sort of like mental block that they've set up for themselves. Something that may have happened to them, or something that they may have thought about, all trans people are weirdos, but then they meet like a really nice person who's like actually just really like just a normal person who just wants to live their life, and they're like, oh wow, this person's really nice, and they're really wonderful, and I enjoy their company. So I guess trans people are not all weirdos. It's just kind of like things like that in VR chat have the potential to influence people in a positive way. So I was kind of wondering if that was applied to you, but you said it's more of in a negative way in your sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yet you're addicted.
I already mentioned. Yes. Yeah. No. It, like I said, it's just because of the whole like. I never judge. I never judge someone. It's also not true. I'm a very judgmental person actually, but I don't judge people on. I think my judgment comes from bias. Like if you were this is a little shade, but if you were a godfall, I immediately dislike you until you prove me right, until you prove me wrong.
Why is that? Why is that? I have an idea why. I have an idea of why, but let me hear it from you.
The experience, 90% of the people that were godfalls, it's just like they're around a lot. So like people that choose godfalls as their main are like choosing something that like is around everywhere. So it's like you immediately lose like the level of uniqueness and like actual interesting personality to me, because you are comfortable with looking like probably 1,000 other people.
Right.
First of all.
True.
Second of all, most of the time people that were godfalls have that like behavior to them where they're like a little bit obnoxious. They have that little bit of obnoxious behavior to them, but that's mostly because also I see most godfalls like in the lap dance scene, and they're like some hyper ADHD, like exaggerated body language bottom, I'll say like that, like, and they just want attention all the time, and like I'm a little biased, so like there's a majority of those, and there's just like two negative things piling up on top of each other. I know I'm probably wrong for this.
Yeah, it doesn't apply to everybody.
Like
it's not a blanket statement.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not like, it's just like the first reaction is like, okay, a godfall, so whatever. But then if they have a cool personality, I'm not one of those, and I'm not gonna say like, oh my god, you were a godfall and you're cool. Wow, that's so unique. Like it's just like, okay, they're cool, whatever.
Yeah.
And they just like the avatar, and they totally have the right for it. If that's how they feel, it's okay. It's just a little biased.
Yeah.
But to go back to the original topic, influenced me negatively because I was always open-minded, and not having the experience of a lot of people that are like-minded and as open-minded as I am, is like, I wish the world was like that everywhere, and I could just go looking like whatever the fuck I want and not get weird looks or be judged or have two people point the finger at me and look at them and start laughing. I'm like, are you alright? Like, the fuck did I do to you, homie?
Yeah. But the thing is, obviously in VR chat we have the benefit of people accepting us for who we are, and we don't even have to worry about that sort of thing. So it's just like, all the people who are respectful, or at the very, not all the people, but a large swath of people who are technologically inclined and are just looking for like a new, fresh experience, are here in VR chat, and a lot of those people do happen to be very open-minded, and very creative, very, very talented people, and I think that's really the beauty that comes from VR chat. So with regards
exactly.
Yeah. So what is one thing that you wish you could improve about VRChat, and one thing that you very much value about VRChat? And it can't be people. You can't say the people because that's a very common answer.
Yeah.
So it has to be something else.
One thing I would improve about VRChat, I honestly cannot think of anything that is like very VRChat specific. It's mostly like, I would make. Actually, no. I'm actually really happy with how VRChat is. I feel like I get into the game and everything kind of works out flawless. The API has the hiccups every now and then, but that's like, it's always on hotspot times, so it's okay. I don't care. What I value is, I feel like lots of people don't see this, but it is really easy to tell that VRChat is like a really intimate passion project of the devs. And yes, they do some stuff where it's like, why? Some people question it, and it's like, they're just players like we are, and if they want something in the game, they have the power to do it and like enhance the quality. So you can see there's like so much passion in this. And not only is this a passion project of the devs, but you can tell that thanks to this game, people have made it their passion project. There's clubs that are like, I mean, you imagine like, what I appreciate is like people put in the time that is put in here, and the passion and the love, like, and then they put in like 8 months of work for a map alone, and then they don't even charge people to get in, and they will never think about monetizing as to where like, someone that says, oh, passion, I have a passion for this, but here you can pay to get a prior queue. And that's where I'm like, yeah, you want to monetize something, and it's okay, you run your club however you want, but it's like, I don't count that as passion, because I would never want to monetize my passion outside of like something like avatar work, because that enables me to make my passion work, but that's something else, because that's a whole different market. So I appreciate the passion in VRChat.
Nice. Hell yeah. I certainly do appreciate that too. There's nobody's perfect, no company is perfect. We're essentially a part of a project, and we're involving ourselves in something that is ultimately still being funded by investors. Sometimes things have to happen and we don't have the whole context of why. Sometimes we do have the context and it still sucks, but even still, we're a part of it, and well, we're here, and obviously they're all humans, and decisions are made without us really knowing everything. And I think, at the end of the day, the people who work for VRChat, I think recognize, like you said, they're all players as well. I think they recognize that how important VRChat is to a lot of people, and I think because of that, it very much is something that these people are doing their best. They're doing what they can with what they've got, and I think to talk very open talk shit about VRChat is ultimately to kind of like insult the thing that has potentially enriched your life or made your life a little bit better, or has maybe put you in contact with a friend that you would never have met otherwise. So I think it's really hard. Like, it's good to have opinions. I think it's good to have criticisms.
Yeah.
But that's only because we want it to be better. We want VRChat to be better. Not because we actively want its demise. But I think some people tend to get those wires crossed, and they get a little too. There's some people who like to be angry over very, very tiny things, like we were talking about before. Just very, very insignificant things. People just like to be angry sometimes.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
But it's good that I'm glad that you and I definitely do agree on that for sure. Hell yeah, I love that. All right. So, speaking of, just passion projects and such, how about we talk about PSHQ? Talk about that for a little bit. So, for people who don't know, what is PSHQ?
PSHQ is a rave club first and foremost, very DJ focused, audio visual focused, more likely. Almost all of our events are like very much dependent on the vibe that the music gives, but then we also get the DJs their VJs to make visuals fitting to the audio that is going on. So like you have that like both stimulations, you know, like, oh, the screen is flashing now to this really sick drop in the song, and I just want to go absolute ape shit over it and shake my ass and like shake my entire body, and I cannot stop moving. That is first and foremost PSHQ, yes, on the surface level.
Okay. So, just so I have a personal understanding of it, and so everyone who's listening has an understanding of it too. It's essentially a rave club that prioritizes visuals that coincide with music, with whatever the DJ is doing, and it's meant to kind of create a very, very specific vibe based around both aspects working together.
Mm-hmm. Take it like you go to an IRL rave. Also, immersion plays a big role in it, and then you go to an IRL rave, and let's say there's a screen, right, and the screen will emit light on the people. Like if you go to like a huge festival, the huge screen, if it flashes rapidly, the people will flash. And if a world in VRChat lacks that now, for example, like if there's like a rave club and then you go and the screen is flashing, but like the room is just static, no avatar gets affected by it, it kind of lacks that impact. So we kind of put an emphasis on that. But there's a lot of stuff we do. There's a huge amount of stuff we do. Really, like, I feel like to get a real taste of PSHQ and to really know what we're about, you kind of have to experience more than only one thing to know that, okay, there's lots of passion in like different aspects and stuff like, you know. But overall, yes, immersive rave, audiovisual rave experience.
Gotcha. And like I've been to a couple of events myself, so I'm no stranger. I mean, I guess I still, to a degree, I am still a stranger, but I've gone to a couple of events myself, and like every time I've gone, it's always been like it's an experience that sticks out in my mind. It's an experience that I generally don't forget. Like there's always something going on there, something that's happened there when I'm there that has been like has made a positive impact on me, and I can recall it very, very vividly. And like I really, really appreciate that about like the PSHQ experience. So you said that's kind of on the surface level. Can you maybe go into a little bit more detail? I know you're a founding member of PSHQ, and can you tell us a little bit more about maybe like why was it started, and I guess how has it evolved at all?
The origin story to PSHQ is extremely funny.
Okay.
So originally PSHQ was a group chat that was like when we were like kind of going down the pipeline of VRChat. Like the pipeline for us was public black cats, the great pugs, whatever, public mirror dwelling, and then finding drinking clubs, and then finding lap dance clubs. And I just had my half body, and I got into like, ooh, half body dancing. I can dance on people now. I can move my body on them. And I met this random person in public black cat, and I was like, hey, do you want a dance? And they were sitting, and I was like, okay, here, I'll give you a dance. And they were like, you're fucking cool. I like your vibe. I will invite you to this group chat. And the group chat was originally called Pussy Squad. Nothing else, just Pussy Squad. And it was our friends, and we would always get together to go to lap dance clubs together. And it was really funny. And then eventually we were too many people, and then we opened the server, and the server was called Pussy Squad Headquarters. And that's our origins. Basically, we grew, and we were always kind of interested in raves. I come from a very sex-positive BDSM kink rave community in Cologne, hosting raves myself, being very involved in like a safe adult space. And that was my first goal when I like introduced Anubis to the idea of throwing our parties ourselves, because we went to Blood Rave once, and Blood Rave is this like was the first immersive event. Like there's the shader on your eyes that draws out colors out, and everybody's just like black, white, gray, and then the red emissions just stick out, and it's all just dark and grimy and looks dirty, and the music hits you in your face, and it's like, oh, what a cool experience. And then after a while, like a couple months, we were like kind of looking for this experience, which we wanted to do ourselves because it was really cool, and I had experience in running that, and I was like, hey Nubis, I found this cool map, let's do an underground rave there. And the first party we ever threw, I just put in a 3-hour-long YouTube playlist, streamed it through Twitch, and had visuals running. Nobody was DJing, we just had this music going, you know, we were like mid-tempo fiends.
Yeah.
And it eventually developed into like this super degen party where like people would literally sit in voice call planning who they're gonna smash at the event. And at first it was like kind of funny because it was all NSFW. It was all NSFW. People would literally go into a room that would be very well known as the orgy room, and like stupid enough, you spawn above the room and then you walk down and and then people spawn in, and all they hear is just like a gazillion people moaning because they all have their fucking toys connected and going at it. And eventually we had our own map, and our own map started to move away from more like the sex inviting surroundings, and we rebranded it to Psychedelic Sound Headquarters because we had a huge like phase where we were like totally into hypnotic techno and sounds that make you like kind of like, woo, this is like drawing me in, you know, like psychedelic shit. And that's how PSHQ became still NSFW friendly, but a nude, not lewd event. So like there's still some lewd stuff going on, but it's specifically like not at main events.
Right.
And we have rooms for that, like off the sides. So yeah.
Wow, that is
the origin.
that honestly is that's one hell of a story. I would say it's probably one of the best stories that I've heard on my podcast. Quite honestly, that's quite a tale. Yeah. Well done. So with all of that in mind, what is how is PSHQ categorized now, and like what kind of events do you all hold there?
We, like I said earlier, we do a lot of different stuff. We still very much enjoy the aspect, for example, of which lots of like people in the club scene that we're in don't like. We still appreciate the lap dance scene, but we keep it very surface level and very specifically stay connected with clubs that are like kind of interlaced with the rave communities. For example, Club Corruption and Monster Min are two of my favorite lap dance clubs, and they both have like kind of amalgamated with people from the rave scene. And so what we did was we made a map, and we now run a DJ event / lap dance event, and it is something that is ran nowhere like it is like we do. We're really proud of that project. Then we have literally a boiler room event that is inside of a boiler room, center DJ, people surrounding. That is probably my favorite event and my favorite venue in all of VRCHAT because it's like so immersive. We do full moon events on every full moon. We have a specific event crafted to the full moon with the vibe, and like it's usually more like a sit down on the couches, enjoy the visual spectacle of the VJs that go hand in hand with the DJs, and get high, get drunk, let your body take over, and just go with the moment, be calm. And then we do pop-ups. We do pop-ups weekly because we're very, very party addicted. And if there's nothing going on a specific day where we feel like we wanna party, it's like, hey, hit up this DJ, hit up this DJ, hit up this DJ. Do we wanna throw a party today? It is like a party planned within like 8 hours before we throw the party, and then we're like, cool, lineup, solid, and then toss out the party. Let's get drunk. So that's the more like loose end stuff. A lot of different things. Every venue brings its own vibe. Every vibe is very specifically curated. for the consistency in events and like the vibe in events. Like if you go to Full Moon, you know exactly what to expect. If you go to VIP Room, the lap dance amalgamated, you know exactly what you're gonna get. If you go to Boiler Room, you know exactly what you're gonna get. It's kind of established really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like one of my favorite events. I actually didn't know that fullmoon.exe was PSHQ affiliated. I actually had no idea. And but that is by far one of
Hmm.
the most mind-blowingly interesting, fascinating. That experience was like a second awakening for me. I was there, and like, do you remember when I was like ranting about that, like the first and only time I was there, unfortunately. But like I when I went, it was such a thrilling experience just to kind of see just full blown passion, creativity put on display under such like a very gorgeous world. And that to me that really like impressed me a lot. And like you were I believe you were DJing. Yeah, you were DJing, and I think Arby was doing visuals for you. I think I'm not sure, but
Yes, yeah.
but both of you were there,
Yeah.
and it was just like, holy shit, this is fucking amazing. I was
Thank you.
it blew my mind. Like that's by far one of the coolest events I've literally ever been to in VRChat. And maybe I'm just like new and like it's just kind of novel for me. But I mean, again, I've been in part of VRChat for like upwards of almost 2 years now. So like I've seen a lot. I've gone to a lot of events. I am in the rave scene. I know a number of DJs, but like it's just like there's something going on. And I feel like PSHQ, like if I had to kind of categorize PSHQ with regards to like how it's kind of like in my head, in my head, not with everyone else, but for me, like I have this group of people. I know like this circle and this circle and this circle and this circle, and I'm like associated with like all of these different communities. And then there's like PSHQ, which is kind of like on the outskirts of like, they're not connected to really anything that I've ever been connected to. They're just over there doing their own thing. And I'm like, and I go to this and I'm just like, it's like a different kind of vibe. And not just like Full Moon, but also the, I've gone to the motel, the motel, I think the motel events. I've gone to that. And I think there's one other event that I've gone to. I went to just like
You went to our Googie XPSHQ collab in the Googie house. I remember specifically talking to you there.
Okay. So yeah. All right, great. Yeah, so yeah, I've gone to a couple events, and like all of them, like you said, are very, very specific. Very like you know what you're going to get. But like every single one that I've gone to has always been like this is really special. And like absent of all of like absent of like there's like obviously it's like there's like safe for work and not safe for work events and such, but like even like without even like categorizing it under that, the events in general are so well run and curated that I'm just like it doesn't matter if there's like stuff going on in other rooms or whatever. Like I'm like people are legitimately just there to have a good time, and I'm so like every time I've gone, it's always been a really, really awesome experience. So, I'm.
Thank you.
Yeah. So.
Very kind.
So like
I feel so seen right now. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's definitely something that I've I would like to do. I want to do more. I want to go to those events more because I've met some really, really interesting people. At those events, and it's super, super cool. Unlike anything that I personally am connected to. Anyway, now that I'm done gushing, basically, I guess where can we go from there in terms of like discussing that? I think, I mean, as you mentioned Anubis, I guess like how are these events put together? And what's Anubis's role in all this?
Anubis is the owner, the person that runs it all. Anubis is the person that does the shot calls at the end. But I am like, I would say I'm almost like the right hand, sometimes maybe left and right hand, where Anubis like, if Anubis, let's say, is like busy and is like, hey, get a lineup for tonight, I want to party. I'm like, yeah, sure, LD DJ, message these DJs and these VJs, whatever. And if Anubis is curating a lineup, Anubis always gets opinions from me. Like, I feel like I'm one of the very few, if not the only person, Anubis constantly, without fail, asks and informs about events and DJs and VJs, who we should book, and what we should do there, and what the plan is here. And but Anubis is at the end the shot caller. So Anubis' rule is iron fist. If they don't like it, it's not gonna happen.
Gotcha.
And if they like it, it will happen.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
how is the? Would you say that the like, how long is PSHQ been around? Also, is the acronym still psychedelic? What was it?
Psychedelic Sound Headquarters.
Okay. Can you say that again for me?
Psychedelic Sound Headquarters.
Psychedelic
Sound Headquarters.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, so is like the vision of PSHQ, like it's evolved a lot, clearly. Would you say that the vision of like with these events, like would you like how I guess how consistent do you think the vision is being met with like so many different ideas and pop-ups occurring? How concise do you think the vision has been for the time that PSHQ has been around?
Ooh, I feel like we always hit the mark with what we want to present, but we always had this vision. We always had this vision of an adulterated, like just an adult space that provides like bad bitch and just shake your body constantly like vibe. And when it comes to consistency and like how well we've met the actual vision that we had, I feel like it's been the most consistent and actually on point with exactly what we want from our events and what our vision was since I'd say like 3 months, and PSHQ has been around for almost 1.5 years ish, maybe a little longer. Yeah. Lots of time, lots of passion, and we finally found where we want to be.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts about what are your thoughts about like the rave scene, like the party scene, clubbing scene in general? Like when you look at other groups who are doing things similarly or like having other like events and pop-ups, do you have any particular thoughts about those sorts of events? And are you like learning from anyone else, or are you just kind of like doing your own thing in your own little bubble?
We are really connected with the people that are like around us in the scene, like Heist, Redacted. Shout out to all y'all, gang, like Concrete, Cellbind. Those are like Dieselworks. Like those are like lots of the people, like Black Market, Club Dali. Like there's so many that all do their own unique thing, but we love them. I feel like there's lots of inspiration coming from just this amalgamation, just this connection, like this web of clubs. And we definitely had our influences and ideas from other clubs. When it comes to lighting, we were like really, oh my god, we fell in love with Heist. Heist Dark is probably my favorite event when it comes like to really immersive like fog and lighting, and it just feels like so packed. If you like stand somewhere and you look left and right and you see like 15 people here, 15 people there, 15 people over there behind the decks, people dancing all around the DJ in a circle, wonderful vibes. Definitely one of my favorite events. Huge inspiration from there. I have really strong opinions about all of these clubs, but none of them are negative. Like, I love them. They're all homies. We support each other. We get people from that club and that club to our club, and like Also, shout out to Googie. Sorry, I forgot to mention Googie.
Mm.
uh, really close homies of ours as well. They like we just work hand in hand and hand in hand. Like they get our DJs, we get their DJs. We take the club owners as DJs and stuff. Wonderful. That's all I can say is like just beautiful people that are all like super supportive of each other.
Mm. I love that. I love that. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Like I always really, I always wonder like how do people like kind of like, carry themselves, or rather how do event curators or event creators put together these events and interact with other people who are doing events similar to one another? Because like you know, obviously they say, you know, competition breeds innovation, as they say. So you don't see any of your fellow you know, club owners, event creators as competition. It's more so of like you're working together and integrating with each other, you know, working with one another freely, and that's that. I think that's really really great. And but do you just to kind of play devil's advocate, you know, I'm not trying to stir the pot or anything, but I'm going to ask a question. Do you think that perhaps that's because all of you are doing this essentially for free?
Perhaps. I don't know. I don't know. I think we just roll with it. I never thought about it that way. I feel like if there's monetization in the game, that would probably cause a lot of like grinding on the like. Yeah, I feel like that would definitely kick up some competition because people are like, oh, now we need the money. Like people should pay us and come to our event. You know.
Yeah.
The only like competitive thing that happened with PSHQ and other clubs was like when we were just like beginning to like establish ourselves, was let's throw an event at that day, let's throw an event at that day. We compete with these clubs. Also mentioning clubs like Heist, for example. We were like, let's whatever, we'll just throw an event at during a Heist day and like just compete with them head to head. And now we're like at the point where we're like, oh, Heist is happening. We don't throw an event. We go to Heist. We support our homies. Oh, we like are like in touch. Like when we pop up, for example, sometimes a friend will DM me. They're like, "Oh, I see you're popping up. We were supposed to pop up today as well." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Here, take my DJ slot. You play instead of me. Bring your homies. We just like make a little amalgamation of like our two crowds and like let you all play and whatever." Like there's the competitive mindset is like kind of gone. Everybody kind of like plans their events around other clubs and events without like wanting to take away the crowd because we're so amalgamated and it's like this web of clubs. We also share a lot of the friends in the crowd that want to see all of those events, and it's like creating this little conflict in them. They're like, oh, I want to be here, but also they're playing there and then they're playing over there. So it's like, yeah, now it's like this whole like this event is happening, we're playing around that, and then they're playing around that, and then they're playing around, and it's like a little ladder of consecutive events without interrupting each other and
So
being respectful.
yeah, so everyone has somewhere to go to. There's always a party going on.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's always a party.
Yeah, and I think ideally, just from an ideal perspective, with regards to like being able to have an atmosphere like that where there's always something going on, I think, you know, working together is more advantageous for everyone. I think I think that truly makes sense, to not want to step on each other's toes and kind of like work together,
Yeah.
so that everyone can enjoy the creativity that is there, that is, you know, for people to enjoy. And I am like, uh, there was something else I wanted to ask you with regards to that. When it comes to, I want to say, like, I guess getting people to go to your events. How do you all, all right, how does, I guess, well, specifically to PSHQ, because we can't speak for everyone else. Um, and how do you all go about growing, and how, I guess, how did you grow? Like, obviously you had, like you had like you were talking about how you met someone in the Black Cat back then, way back when. They're like, oh, I like your vibe, come to this group. Um, I guess how does PSHQ go about, I guess, finding new people and growing the community these days?
These days, I don't know. I don't know. And ironically, PSHQ is has exceeded a number in the group that we never even thought it would. We thought we were just gonna stay the little low dogs on the side and like throw our shit and whatever. So nowadays, I don't even think we try to find people. People kind of find us. There's like a gazillion requests to join our group every single day. Um, but back then, it was definitely really tough. We had huge shifts in different crowds because, like I said, originally I started with not I. We started with the whole like hyper NSFW. Like people would throw orgies, and then we would have like this hyper degen crowd of like people that are like somewhat uncomfortable because they make it all about sex instead of like coming there to see and dance to the DJ, you know.
Yeah, like
So that
actually
was kind of
appreciating
whack.
the music, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of like rebranded specifically to get rid of those people, and like we Anubis is doing, by the way, hyper like restructured the entire server to be less welcoming to people that are there just for degen activities.
Mm-hmm.
And we it took us a little while to get rid of the like NSFW like stamp we had and get DJs to want to play for us that we actually liked and were interested in. And and then after that, after the rebrand, I think it was just consistency. Consistency. People that usually wouldn't pop in would be like, okay, tonight PSHQ is happening, nothing else is happening, and then the friends would pop in there, and then they would be like, okay, this is cool, and then they would do it more often, more frequently, and eventually eventually we had our crowd. We have our crowd, established people that you can expect to see at every event, and then constantly people asking like, hey, my friend requested, would that be cool if you accepted them? Hey, me and other friends, like Anubis was actually really funny story. Met some of my favorite people very recently. Um, Anubis was just like in a public FPT heaven and saw someone that could dance really cool and their vibe was good, like cool. They were good dancing and their vibe was chill, and was like, here, PSHQ, join the server. And then Anubis DM'd them a week ago, and they joined, and they brought all their fucking friends, and they're now like hyper, like PSHQ best club. This is the best rave club. I've never been at such a good event. Whoa! I can tell you all are like you all enjoy IRL raves as well. Wow, you guys are amazing. You throw amazing parties. And they become like, Luna. Whenever I'm like saying, yeah, I'm about to go live, they're like running around. They're like, Luna's playing. Oh my god, best DJ. She's crazy. I'm like, oh my god, what is happening? You know, like that is how we find people now. People just spread the word on their own. I remember the first couple times I saw random people that I've never seen that are white named in a public lobby representing PSHQ. Was the moment I was like, what is this? What is going on? It's not a homie. It's nobody I know. Nobody Anubis knows. Just randomly representing PSHQ, and now you see it everywhere in the wild. There's no way you don't see PSHQ being rapped at any other like parties and shit. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy and also pretty exciting. To have been a part of that and to have been able to, like, you know, to build that. And obviously, you know, you're still a part of that. You're still very much a part of that these days, and I think that's really great. So with that, so I wanna talk a little bit more of, like, I think I have maybe like one more question with regards to PSHQ, and I think I think that kind of comes down to like what was the question I wanted to ask? I think what PSHQ is doing is very, very fascinating. I think there's a really, really solid scene of people there that that sincerely appreciate what is being done and what is being created there. I think the move to really make it more about the music, as opposed to, you know, the other activities is, I think that's spot on. I think there are many people at events that I go to in general that seemingly aren't really giving the music the attention that it deserves, and I feel like they're missing out. Like, I was talking about this, I think, at the Full Moon event that I went to. I was just talking about how people were just kind of like chit-chatting and completely just missing out on the awesomeness that was what was being portrayed at that event, not just with you and Arby, but with like all the DJs and VJs that were there. And I feel like there are just people who don't pay attention to that. Like, what are your feelings with regards to just people who are, who go to raves ultimately to socialize, versus showing appreciation for the visuals and the music?
That is a really hard topic, because at the end you cannot force everyone to like be at 100% attention, especially with the attention span of 90% of the people in VRChat, how like ADHD everyone is, including myself. There's rarely ever any nights where I'm like, voices down, music 100%, and I'm just dancing, not speaking to a single soul, I'm not drinking, I'm just feeling it, So I'm guilty of that myself. I socialize a lot, but I feel like the event itself should speak for it. If people don't catch the vibe there and just go to the party just to socialize, that's what I judge. That's where I'm like, that's not what you should be here for, unless it's just a pop-up, motel pop-up is like the spot to just like socially engage with people, and like a really fun spot to get drunk. But my perspective on that is also, as someone that like takes a lot of time and really cares for what I put out as a DJ. I know that there's a lot of other DJs that do that as well, where they will like spend hours like picking songs and like finding new songs and buying songs and then putting them all together and like planning out like, oh, this could go cool with this track, and like doubling with this would go cool, and then tripling and whatever. And having people that put that much passion into something that they just want to put out and like they want to provide this experience, I feel like that's where like it's a little problematic in my head, where I'm like, it's a little annoying. Like at least like half an hour of the set, shake your ass to this DJ, and then socialize the rest half an hour, because then like during the second half an hour where you socialize, another person will probably start like going ape shit. And yes, it could be argued like, hey, but if the DJ isn't like catching someone's attention, that's on them, it's blah blah blah. But I've heard banger sets where I'm like, everything was perfect. This entire vibe was just giving and giving and giving. It was like ups, perfect ups and perfectly placed downs and then ups again. Where I'm like, if you paid proper attention and like your world volume was maybe higher, you would have probably got the energy, because that also plays into it. I plan all my stuff, and I think other people do that too, on like max volume on my ears. So there's some songs that I know will not hit nearly as hard if it's like not at 100 but like at 80% volume, and all of a sudden the song kind of doesn't have that same punch in the gut kind of feeling. So that plays a lot to it, where I'm like, I almost want to be like, hey, world volume always at 100%, like we should be able to enforce that, but you can't, of course. Like, some people get overstimmed, So yeah. I also probably have fucked up hearing, so maybe that's why I like it at 100% all the time.
Hey, that is fair, and like I can understand that. Yeah, you can't force people to engage, but I don't know, it is just kind of sad, because like the DJs that are the DJs and the VJs, I want to say, and also the event organizers themselves, or they put in the time, they put in the effort to create an experience that people can really kind of feel and enjoy. But it's just like there are so many moments that are missed. There's so many like moments of like auditory and visual beauty that are missed because of one reason or another. But you can't force people, like you said. You can't twist people's arm and make them listen and pay attention. But I do think that's kind of a miss. That's a missed opportunity of just an appreciation for like what the people there are doing. And I do kind of want to jump back. I do want to jump back to the one question about payment, monetization. Do you think that there is any way? This has kind of been like a hot topic these days, of like people discussing like is it reasonable, or is there any potential there to have an instance where people are charging to attend these kind of events? And I know this is for some, I know this is very kind of like iffy topic for a lot of people, I'm aware. But for someone who is like ultimately like helped and in a big way to establish a group that's grown, you said, larger than you ever expected it to. I would like to hear like your thoughts about that as someone who's been a part of PSHQ from like its inception.
I can say there's always going to be a market for it. There's always going to be something marketable about any club, really. Some people start with doing like, hey, pay our Patreon, and then you get like prior queue, so you don't have to wait if there's like 80 people in an instance, or like your wait gets shortened. But then at the end, what if you have, let's say, 80 people paying your Patreon? Cool, you get the money, but then there's 80 people in priority queue that will constantly push each other back, and the people that don't have it will constantly be pushed even further back, and then, so there's always going to be a market for something, but it will always come with a problem, especially in VRChat, where so much other stuff. Most of the time, the most high quality stuff, the most intense and insane, immersive, and most well curated events are usually the ones that will be free. So the market will only draw in people that are like, I guess. I think there's no other way than to sound judgmental about this, but like weirdos. One of the few clubs I heard talk about that was like an NSFW club, and you give weirdos an access to be in quicker, and they will probably pay for it just to see that one person they're stalking or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
The only way I see monetization being an actual plausible cause in VRChat for ravers is commissioning someone to do a world for you. I'm 100% backing. Perfect. Give me your price. I'm paying that shit because you did work. That is honest work. You're helping me out. You get the money. Perfect. That is the only way I'm like, monetization is cool. Anything else? Man, as brutal as direct as I can say it, really seriously shove it up your ass to think to monetize your club. You will immediately have a huge, when you play Sims and there's like the minus relationship.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that with like 20 million minuses for me. The moment someone mentions monetization for their club, I'm like immediately like, oh boy. yeah, goodbye.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that's reasonable. I mean, because I think there are some things that work in IRL that just don't make sense in a virtual space, because at the end of the day, we don't really own the virtual space. And I think you make a good point about Oh, I thought you were telling me that. I thought. Okay.
Oh no.
But yeah, I definitely agree. Like being able to fund the world creator for people chipping in to like fund the world creator who's working on the world and making it better. But it's the world is being used. I think that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And do you think that I've heard that I have heard this that the music scene is very very challenging. It's very very difficult to kind of to monetize and to kind of create content that makes sense in VRChat, and compared to someone who's making things IRL compared to people that are making things in VRChat. Do you think that the scene in when it comes to creating music and DJing and VJing, do you think it's healthy? Do you think that there's a healthy group of people keeping this thing alive? Do you think it's going to continue to go on this course? Do you think that clubs will continue to be relevant in VRC? How healthy do you think the rave scene, the clubbing scene is?
More and more people that are that I would consider surface level have been coming around to raves and being whoa, this is really cool. And I feel like that's something that is becoming a more common like it's becoming more common. I just see so many people that are like, oh my god, this is my first party ever, I love this, I want to experience this more and more and more, give me some other clubs that I can go to. So I think the rave scene is actually thriving extremely hard. And to the question who if there's people that I think are like kind of the reason or like behind the whole pushing it forward still, is like that's us with all the homies that have been throwing raves since I don't know, like there's literally clubs like that have been around forever, and like devs like community staff and whatever like go to these events and they just party with the people. Like they will go there and be like, hey, you have like 160 people in queue, do you want me to increase the lobby size? And then all of a sudden, boom, lobby size increased, 100 people in the lobby all partying and raving. I feel like the rave scene is like really thriving, and I feel like it's just gonna keep going because especially tech keeps evolving as well. We are now at Unity 2022. The lighting on Unity 2022 worlds looks, oh my god, it's so immersive, it's so pretty, it runs better, it's more stable. Like the jumps we do is like so significant to our experience that I think the rave scene will constantly evolve and keep going and just keep growing and growing and growing. And eventually I feel like public lobbies will be like just littered with shit posters, and raves will just become like the norm for everyone.
So you believe that in the coming like in the next like 1 to 2 years, like everyone will have like a rave that they enjoy going to?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like the most immersive club, one of the most immersive clubs is Shelter. They were my introduction to like, yeah, they were definitely my introduction and some of my friends' first introduction into like the immersive rave. Like you spawn, you have like this whole animation telling you to turn up your world volume and then click OK if the beeping is loud enough that you hear, and then you're getting thrown in and it's like acting like you're putting off your VR headset, you're stepping out of your chamber, you have to go to an elevator, you go down the elevator into the lobby, then you walk out of a warehouse kind of like little thing, you're on the streets, you walk through a merch shop, into a back alley, and then in the back alley that's so realistic is like 80 people just standing in the alley, leaning against walls, having conversations left and right, saying cheers, waiting for the doors to finally open. And then the doors open and you walk through like an abandoned like apartment complex, through like a broken wall into like a construction area, and then you get to the underground rave, and you can take drugs that like give you fucking crazy effects on your screen, and you go in the dance floor and like everything is echoing and there's nobody speaking because like the voice dampening on the dance floor is like so low, you actually have to like scream into someone's ears so they can actually hear you. Like that is the surface level like most immersive rave, because they have like I don't know what, like 20,000 people in their group. And I feel like people that I never see like in the deeper end of the rave scene are like are going there. So Shelter is a really cool introduction to people. It will keep growing, I'm pretty sure.
All right. I think that's
I keep yapping.
No. You're fine. Like yap away. Like I think there's a lot of information here that like I don't know about. Like I've heard of Shelter, but I've never been. So like I think it's super interesting to like hear more about that, and like to hear about it from someone who's very like intimately intertwined with the various scenes and the various clubs that exist in VRCHAT. I think it's very insightful. That's why I'm glad that you're yapping. That's why I ask these kinds of questions to hopefully get these really strong answers. I like them. I'm a fan. Yeah. So speaking.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And so like speaking of that, let's kind of jump into like you being a DJ, because like we talked a little bit about that. So like what, like where did you begin? Where did DJing begin for you? And not just in VRCHAT, I mean in general.
I didn't DJ IRL. I never DJed IRL. I never touched DJ equipment, nothing. It genuinely just started in VRCHAT. Before DJing, I was a metal producer and like trap producer and like produced rappers and stuff for over 10 years. So I had like knowledge over music and like already a really refined music taste. But I feel like the only way that played into DJing is like I already knew what like mixers and everything that kind of looked like, and DJing I picked up in VRCHAT. I was a baby DJ. I started really weirdly with aggressive tear out and rhythm, and then I moved to being a multi-genre DJ, and my journey was basically finding DJ sets of DJs that I find really interesting, have like a really refined sound, but like they don't stick just to one genre, because I've always never been a like, even when producing, like I love when I was producing metal, for example, I love that like have like a little trap interlude and then switch back to metal, and so I was never like a one genre DJ fan, and my journey was just I find DJs, they inspire me, I grab their tracks, I listen how they mix, I copy their mixing, and that's where until I'm like completely comfortable with where I am now. It took me about a year and a half now, I would say. And now I'm like really comfortable with what I do. That was my journey. I started in VRChat. I'm still a baby DJ technically. There's so much to DJing that I can still learn.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I was thinking that you've been DJing for a long time. Because like when I hear you spin, it's like I'm always impressed. Like when I hear you, because like you're very flexible, and like you bring in a certain sound based on the event. Like what you did at Full Moon is completely different than what you did at Googie. And it's just like it's very very fascinating to kind of see that, and to know that you haven't really been doing this for that long, but you've become as refined at it as you have become. And that's just kind of me speaking as someone who's like heard you spin and heard you play. So like
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Like I think credit where credit is due. I'm definitely impressed. So like, why did you get into? I mean, aside from like being a producer, I guess what sparked your curiosity or desire to want to spend the time and effort? Because let's not kid ourselves, being a DJ is not easy. Anyone can make a playlist, but like actually like DJing and mixing and putting together transitions and things, and like kind of setting up a certain theme and everything that goes into that. Like I've been talking to people about like who are DJs about like how their process, and I've interviewed a number of DJs myself. So I'm still very much looking into like understanding what DJing encompasses, but I think it's a little bit different for everyone who does it. So I guess what inspired you to want to do that in the first place? Because it is effort. So.
Originally, what inspired me to do that was I love being the music person. Like when I'm like in a car ride with friends, I always loved like, give me the aux. I got the music that everybody likes to jam to, and I've always gotten the compliment of people being like, I love giving you the aux because you always like nail the power that we need for every single situation. Like if I want to make someone feel romantic with me in a one-on-one situation, I know exactly what to play. Like, let me put on some Puma Blues, some cigarettes after sex, get into that vibe, you know. When we want to go sexy, bro, I'll hit you with that Plaza, I'll hit you with that Chris Gray, I hit you with all these other things. And I've always loved to provide a vibe and like get a thing going with music, like in any situation, like so that was always like a thing that I had. And then being in VRChat and then seeing like I just play some random ass music, but I know the vibe is fire, and then I see full body people just going ape shit and like holding their headset and banging their head. I was like, okay, I need decks. I want to be able to control this all in real time and actually like do what I want, like on the go, read the room, and then like spin out of something and stuff like that. That's my main thing is I'm a people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
I love providing a vibe, and the more people go apeshit over the stuff that I play, the more accomplished I feel and the more fun I have.
Yeah, I think that goes without saying. I mean, like, I think that's any performer, I think, can relate to that.
Yeah.
Even a streamer like myself, like I the more feedback I get from chat, the better I feel. The better I feel like this was a good stream. And like for you, it's like people are losing their shit. Like that was a good ass set. And like it's the responses of people that are there. That can really kind of make all the difference for the person who's putting in the effort to create something that's super that it takes effort to do, and to have that effort acknowledged is really it's heartwarming and reaffirming, and
yeah.
So I can definitely relate in that way. So like I guess. What's your favorite genre of music to spend, and why?
Ooh, genre is really hard for me to answer since I listen to so much. I wouldn't say I listen to. Actually, I would say I listen to a gazillion different genres. I go more for a vibe. Like I will find a vibe in any genre. Like I'll make Jersey. Jersey with the bad squeaks and like the booty shaking ba is probably my favorite if I want to make like people just like, ooh, I want to shake my ass, ooh, I want to stay close to the DJ and just like vibe with them and like kind of throw it back a little bit, throw it back, shorty kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But then I also find like Jersey that is like kind of really sexy and intimidating and energetic and like has a more hypnotic vibe. But that goes the same with like I will find like ballet or reggaeton that has more energy, or like neo-pereo that is like slowly like an amalgamation of like people call it cyber pereo. It's like reggaeton but like more with like badass gothic female energy power. And you can find vibes in that as well. You can find sexy vibes. You can find even emotional like booty shaking vibes where it's like why am I crying in the club kind of vibes,
Yeah. Okay.
But when it comes to finding my favorite vibe, oh my god, do I love going cunty. Like, give me that powerful female energy, make all the women in the club go, yes, queen, slay, like, we want to go crazy with the girlies. Like, that's my vibe. I wanna be like female power. I'm a cunt, motherfucker. Like, I own this bitch. Like, you see me, you talk to a goddess, hello, like that energy.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And I definitely do. I get that vibe from like just you in general as a person. It's like it's very 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 powerful, very 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 impressive energy, and that's one of the things that I really love like seeing. That's kind of one of my first kind of like what can I say, like the way that I like acknowledge a person or feel a person or and sense a person when I first meet them, it's just like the energy that I'm getting from them. It's very 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 strong, very 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 powerful energy, very very impressive energy. Like when I first met you, I was just like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna even be able to talk to this person because I don't even know if we're on the same level. Like we're both very like we have a certain kind of like strong energy about us, and I'm not sure if that will merge, that will mix, but here we are. So it's it's good. It's good to like to bring that kind of vibe. So what I'm hearing from you is like largely like what you said, like you said a genre that kind of gets like brings that kind of like that girl power energy. Is there a genre that specifically like kind of hits that for you, or is it just that you're looking for that kind of feeling within multiple genres? So
the second one. It's definitely the second one is the answer. Multiple genres with one and the same vibe, one and the same energy. There's definitely more. There's definitely genres that are more consistent with that vibe, but those genres usually don't hit it for me because they're kind of like house adjacent, and I'm not like a huge fan of spinning house. House can get really really boring really fast to me. But I'm totally multi-genre. Like, toss any music at me as long as the vibe is good. Like, I feel like there's not a bad genre. It's just always there can be bad songs and bad vibes within a genre.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I get that. So when it comes to DJing, like where I guess how often do you DJ, and what equipment do you use? I guess those are two completely different questions, but yeah, how often do you DJ?
Oh my god, my addiction to DJing kills me sometimes. I legit, for example, I played 2 sets tomorrow and a set on Saturday. I had I had whole weeks where I played like multiple sets every single day. Some of my DJ friends are like, how do you survive that? Like, you booked everywhere. Like, you play there, you play there, you play there, you play there, and then you play like 20 million sets. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I love music. I love presenting music, and so I play. I wouldn't say I would say like 3 times a week average at this point.
Okay.
Which doesn't sound much, but it is.
Oh no, that sounds like a lot. No, like that's definitely a lot. Like I know I have other friends who do similar, who just play. They play just to play. So how do you go about doing all of those sets and then making each of those sets unique? Do you bother with the logistics of making a set sound unique, or are you just that in tune with like the music that you have at your disposal that you can just kind of go into it and just kind of do it, just go into it and make it happen? Like how do you make every set sound unique and actually and sound good to you?
I crate dig a lot. Like, I will download like 80 to 100 songs, I would say, like every 2 weeks, and expand my music all the time. I definitely do that where like I will take like a portion of a crate that I know will go hand in hand with another portion of another crate, and then mix and mash 2 crates, and then maybe take a quarter of one, maybe like a little bit of this one, a little bit of that crate, and then sprinkle them all together and mix them in different ways. But I've definitely had events where like I don't know, when I just played like a main event, and I go and like on the next day I go to a party and a friend sees me and is like, I didn't create a new crate at all, like I just was like, whatever, I just want to party tonight, I'm not DJing. And then a friend is like, oh my god, do you want to play open decks? And I'm like, oh, okay. And that's when I like dive into a crate that I already played. And then it's like, there's probably like 60% of people that haven't heard the songs that I played yet, and the other 40% are like, oh yeah, spin this shit again, this shit was hard, I want to hear and dance to it again. Like, so I wouldn't say I make all my sets constantly really unique. The main unique events I play are like for main events. Like I'm booked for Club Dolly tomorrow, shout out gang. I'm really excited to play there, and that's gonna be like a completely unique crate, maybe tossed in with like 5-6 songs that I've played in the past, but so long ago that I know they will just fit this vibe, and I'm gonna toss them back in there. But overall, yeah, main events are my unique crates, and then for pop-ups I just mix and mash what I already played, and I feel like I have like a really good understanding of like, yeah, this goes well, I know this sound, and then I will just, I'm also very organized. I have folders, and folders upon folders of folders. Like, I will literally have like a new folder for every single set I play, even if it's improvised. And then on the go, I will just like go into different folders and be like, oh, I like these 3 tracks that go together, boom, smack them in there. Other crate, oh, these tracks would go out right after. And like I do that all on the go. Oh god, I'm almost with solo. I do that all on the go. And so I'm kind of in tune with what I do. But I also toss in new shit every now and then. So that's how I keep them interesting and kind of unique, because it's like, I remember this portion from a set, and this portion from another set, and then maybe a portion from like half a year ago, but this sounds fire, so it's still a unique experience.
So, yeah. Speaking of your crates and like how you kind of keep all yourself organized and all your tracks together, can you kind of walk us through your workflow when it comes to DJing? Like what goes into making a set, like for a main event, for example? Can you tell us in as much detail as you're willing to or able to?
No, I'm totally fine with sharing. So my first thought is like, main event, cool. What map? What is the map like? Have I been to that event yet? And that is like one of my most important things is like, what is the event like, and what is the club like, and what is the world like. And then if I've already been to the club, I'm losing my voice. If I've already been to the club, I know the vibe, and then I'm like, I already have like, I'll take Club Dali for tomorrow again as an example. Is like every time I was there, it was like hypnotic techno kind of trancey vibes, and I know I can take that and do my own little spin on it. So I want to go trancey, dancey, techno heavy, but like mix it up with like maybe toss in some like 140 and some booty shake stuff in between, and like mix it all up a little bit. And I know that that's the vibe, and then that's how I go about crate digging. So I was in the process of crate digging today a little bit. I got like a solid huge amount of music, and then the next process is for me loading all that stuff up, creating a crate for that. Like I have the crate with the specific name, and then I create another crate, and then I go through all the songs again, and then pick this I want to open with, this is what I want to play, and then I go through this song, and then I create what I want to play, what songs I want to play, and then I go through the songs and I section the songs. I want to play this part, and then I want to play maybe the next song halfway through, and then it will like clash together with the first one, and it will create this interesting sound of like just pure percussion and power. And then halfway through both, I will like toss in maybe the third song at this point, and then the first one ends at some point, and then maybe I will loop the second song for a while, and then take another track and layer that. And I plan that all out. I put like cues. There's like I put my cues down, and then and from there on it's like an automatic flow, because I already planned everything out. I just look at the decks, cue next track in. I know the cue point. I press on the cue. I know exactly when I have to play the song. Boom! I fade it in a little earlier, so it transitions smoothly into the song. Sometimes I do hard cuts where but that's on hard drops where I know it would make sense for this other song to just swoosh, gone. You're just gone. That's why I plan. That's my process. Is take in the vibe, find the songs, make my cues, play the set. Perfection. For me, perfection. Hopefully, if I'm not drunk and I do a little whoops.
Well, you know, whoopsies happen, but we all know if we don't talk about it, nobody knows. In most cases, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, I guess we like, you know, the DJ would know. But yeah, makes sense. So like, what software do you use, or any hardware do you use, and like how do you go about, like, you know, kind of, I guess, doing like transitions and mixes? Like what goes into that? Because I'm sure, like, obviously you can like link songs together, but like obviously you're trying to take a part of a song, or maybe you're taking like the second half of a existing song, and then you're putting those two things together. And like how do you kind of organize all that into whatever DAW or any sort of hardware that you're using to mix all this? Like how does that go for you?
Like I already said, basically take it as in like you create a folder with all the songs that you want to play,
right?
And then you create another folder, and you just select what songs you want to put in which order into the next crate. And it's like in my DAW, I mean in the mixing software I use Tractor Pro 3 gang. I organize them, and they're like it comes with like the function to just like organize stuff in folders, so you can just like take songs from a folder and toss them into the next one. Just play them out, and then setting cues is, like I said, how I plan it out. Like, and eventually, like, I listen to the songs, I get comfortable with them, and then after 5 hours, I'm like, okay, I think I can work with this way.
Okay. Got you. All right. Makes sense. Okay. So, do you need to take a break at all?
No, I'm totally fine.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Do you need a break?
Nope, I'm good. I'm used to sitting down for hours on end because that's my life in front of a computer. So yeah, I'm good. But okay. So when it comes to I guess where was your first set? Well, where was the first set that you ever did?
Oh my god. I don't even remember. I know that my first set was not at PSHQ. I think a friend of mine that I don't even hang around with anymore, and I don't even know if their club is around, booked me. They were like a really underground club, and I was like, cool, I want to spin this heavy headbanging music and just pull my vibe through. And yeah, I think that was so long ago, man. I don't even remember the club name. I know that I was on a lineup with Cold Child, though, a Witch House producer that very recently played for Full Moon, or the last Full Moon actually, for us. So it's kind of weird to see like them come back into my life. I'm like, whoa, this motherfucker was on my, like, I don't know, my first set, maybe my second set, yeah, something like that.
Okay. Gotcha. Huh. And I mean, obviously, like given how many sets that you do on a regular basis, how do you maintain the energy for it? You're essentially doing something that's extremely creative, extremely time-consuming, out of just pure passion. Like I know you have a lot of passion to give. I'm sure you're like a you just have that kind of energy about you. So, but how do you kind of like keep your head on straight and continue to go through that process as often as you do?
The first thing that comes to mind is ADHD hyperfocus. I'm like locked in because, again, I love music. Very, very, very broad, very simple answer. I love music. I cannot stop listening to music. So that's what keeps me up, is like, oh, this sounds so good. I want to play this. Like, I'll listen to a random track, and I have like a gazillion friends that send me tracks that they're like, I think you might like this, and I'm like, this is good. I'm gonna play this. And that's how I keep it up. It's like it's constantly finding new music. It's so interesting. Some producers have crazy skill in like mixing, where like my sound file head, is that the right word, when you're like really into like good sound design?
Audio file.
When you're like a sound file.
Audio
file. Perfect. Thank you. Audio file. My audio file brain is going absolute ape shit when like a producer does like something really interesting, and my brain is just like, ooh. It's like, the best way to describe it is like, it makes my brain feel crunchy. It's a feeling nothing else can give me, really. And then I want to provide other people with that crunch. So listening to that shit and then playing it, and like even when creating my crate, I have specific people's reactions in my head when I'm like, ooh, this double goes so crazy. I know exactly how some people will react, and I usually get those exact reactions from those exact people that I've like pictured in my head. So I like get pre-hyped. I'm like preparing. I'm like, oh, this is so fun. I know exactly who's gonna get. I can't wait to see their reaction, you know. And then that exact person, like when I do that double, they're like, oh my god, that's crazy. Whoa. I'm like, yes, yeah, yes, babe, let's go. You know, like, it's really cute. That's my motivation. Fun. Seeing fun in other people's faces or bodies.
So having fun and just being a people pleaser, just kind of like loving the music, having fun, and being a people pleaser, ultimately.
Yeah, pretty much comes down to that. Yeah.
Okay. And I may have missed this detail in the midst of your explanation before, but like, what is the hardware or software that you use to do your stuff?
And my hardware is a Pioneer DDJ FLX6 4-channel bad boy, fucking chunky. And my software is the Tractor Pro 3. I switch between the Tractor Pro 3 and Virtual DJ every now and then, but mainly Tractor Pro 3 because that's the first software that I started using. Yep.
Gotcha. I've heard of Virtual DJ before. So what's can you explain the difference between the Virtual DJ? Because I think most people know about Virtual DJ more so than the other one. So if you could explain for those who may be curious, about DJing, if you can tell us the differences between the two, if you could, if you can explain that.
Basically, Tractor Pro 3, basically in my head, how I would explain it is, take Virtual DJ and then just rip away the things that I wouldn't want to use. I mean, I think you can do that in Virtual DJ. I never dove so deep into it that I like did anything custom with it or like and edited the layout or whatever, because I know that you can do that. But Tractor Pro 3 is just like it comes. It's just literally songs. It has everything that I need to see, and that's why I like it. It's very simple. It's very bare bones, and it just works for me. I don't know. It's probably because I got used to it, and I know that you can do a lot more with virtual DJ. But at the end, I'm like, who cares? It works.
Yeah, whatever works is what you should use. But I think knowledge about the software and the hardware is very, very useful, and especially for someone like me who like I also have a very strong affinity with music. I've been listening to music since before I was born. My father was a musician, so it's like I know for a fact that I was listening to music before I was born. So it's very much a part of my life too, and I can definitely kind of understand the feel like hearing a really, really good song and just like, damn, that would sound really, really good. And it's like, and like these days I've been kind of thinking about the process of like what it would look like if I were to DJ potentially. So like having these kind of conversations with people who are actually doing it is very, very interesting to me. I don't know if I'll ever have the time, probably won't, but it's still super interesting to me in anyway. So yeah, like I really do appreciate getting your insight with your experience with DJing. It's super, super interesting for me. So I definitely want to talk about your producing. Like, so you said earlier that you were for about 10 or so years you were a producer or are a producer of is it of music or is it of artists?
Both, but no big names or anything. Just like privately producing for friends, for myself. I did a little bit of vocal coaching and went through vocal coaching myself for singing and especially shouting. And like, since I was a metal producer, I didn't produce like any metal. I was like really adamant about like an visceral, aggressive sound that is like, if I could say the music that I like the most when it comes to metal is like, take the feeling of a panic attack with fueled anxiety fueled panic attack while you're on medication, and then put that into music, and it's just like your brain is just like overloaded and the sounds are like crazy and wild, but they portray that exact same feeling that you need. And it's a kind of music like it's just very like raw, almost with some of the most depressing lyrics you can probably read, but expressed in a really aggressive, I'm done with this shit kind of way. That was my producer history. Like that's what got me going. And then eventually, when I was with my friends that I talked about very early on about Moonlight Click, my two homies, love them. I basically taught them a little bit, and we started doing like trap and like emo rap kind of stuff, like a little bit on the like XXX Tentacion was like our first biggest inspiration, and then we moved to like more aggressive stuff. Yeah. And then eventually I just stopped. I don't know. I lost interest.
Okay. So how does so I was under the impression that you were like producing music, not exactly like producing your own music. So you're producing your own music, or
exactly,
producing your own music as well as like everything like with like other artists and their music. So
I did my own vocals. I wrote the songs. I play the guitar. I play drums. I do mixing, mastering. I did all the recording myself. Not in a fancy studio at all. I just set everything up myself and produced for myself. And then, but like I said, also for friends. Like anytime I was very connected to like the metal scene in the area I live, and every time there was like newcomer bands of like friends of mine and they needed like somewhat presentable good sound for like a cheap price, I'd be like, yeah, you're a homie, I got you, like come on, like let's I love recording and mixing and mastering as much as I do like, let's say, working on avatars or like working on DJ sets today. It's like it was like a full-time passion of mine that I like really wanted to have realized.
Gotcha. Okay. So how does one get into that? How does one just become a producer? Like, tell us about that.
Take it the same way as I got into 3D. I got into a scene. The scene really piqued my interest, and there were lots of fucking people. Oh god, I need to stop swearing so much. There were lots of people that were like selling EPs and CDs and everything with the absolute crappiest sounds presentable, and then they were selling that. And I was like, I would give this away for free as a like sample. Like, hey, come to our show and hear this music in better quality because the guitars and the drums hit 10 times harder IRL. And then I would look at like producer friends of mine that already got a really nice and visceral and aggressive, clear, bassy, crunchy sound to them. Where I'm like, teach me some of that stuff. And then I got taught by a friend, and eventually I just picked up my own Steinberg Cubase 5 software and my Focusrite studio mics and guitars and amps and everything, and like my mixers, and I got into all that shit myself. And like almost like my avatar work and my world creation work is like reverse engineered or self-taught.
Oh, okay. There's an abundance of creativity that you exhibit, and it's just that hyper focus that you talked about, just kind of just really digging into something because like you found interest in it, and you go as far with it as you can go with it, and that's super interesting. So so where do you keep all the stuff? If you just stop, where do you keep all the stuff now?
I have some on my PC, and some of it is rotting away in a almost broken HDD somewhere in my closet in a box. So I could plug it in and grab the audio files again if I wanted to and like play them back. I also have an old ass phone that I still keep charged because when I go outside, I have all my old recordings on that phone, and I just listen to them on my like grocery shopping. I'm like reminiscing in my head. I'm like, oh man, I remember producing this song and then showing it to my friends and then playing it live eventually with my band at the time. It was really cool. It brings back memories. I was like, fuck, I started so early, man. I did so much. It's kind of crazy. Sometimes reflecting on all this stuff.
Yeah, like I'm not sure if I didn't ask you how old you are, but I don't know if that's personal information or not, but
28. Turning 29 this year. I don't care. It's okay.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, given like the extent of what you've done, that's a lot. You've done a lot in a relatively short period of time. But I was also kind of wondering about, like, you said you bought amps and microphones and drums and stuff, like like that stuff. Like, where do you keep that stuff? Like the hardware. You know, obviously you have the songs that you produce and everything. Sold? Okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
It's just sold. I needed the money really bad because I needed to move. I don't have any space for anything here anymore because that's personal. Whatever. Yeah, I don't have the space anymore. So yeah, I had to sell it and then move back. And yeah, now that stuff is hopefully still in good condition and good hands because I took care of my hardware, man.
I believe it. Yeah. So it was basically you became a producer because you were fed up with how poor the production was with other people, essentially?
No, that was just like my first gripe was like, oh my god, I think I could mix this better if I recorded all of this with a phone. And then I got introduced to the whole like mixing aspect, and like I was like, cool, yeah, why not learn? You know, I love the music, why not produce something, why not learn it? And then eventually maybe even help out the people that are like with the crappy sound. Give me like $50 and I'll mix like 4 songs for you, I'll mix a master and record 4 songs for you, that kind of deal. They get something good out of it, I get my, I don't know, the drugs that I wanted to take at the time. We're based, all cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
some people paid me in weed. It was also good. Some people paid me in psychedelics. I lived a life.
Yeah. I mean, that's really kind of what it comes down to. Like, you know, when you're in those kinds of scenes, you know, like it makes sense that you
Yeah.
you make your payment whatever you get your payment. And if you're being creative, people will pay to have those kinds of experiences and to have their money produced in a meaningful way. So yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
regardless of the circumstances, I think that's super interesting that you're just like, oh, okay, I could do this better. I can help out my friends. I can make their experiences. I can make their music sound better, and I can produce my own music too. And the fact that you did that at a relatively young age, just from really benefiting from, how good technology has been and was back then. Obviously, it's gotten better now, but given how good technology was back then, it's still really impressive that you're able to do so much and make so much progress and just be as creative a person as you were. So why did you quit?
Other interests, other circumstances in life. Music production just took kind of a secondary for me, and I wanted to do other stuff. When I stopped, it was basically I taught my friends that I did music with, and then I handed them the scepter and was like, if I need something produced, they can do it now. I'm gonna chase other stuff that I want to learn. I'm a teach myself kind of person. I get my interest in something and I'm like, ooh, I want to accomplish something with this, something that I can be proud of. And that's why I keep my hyperfocus as well. It's like, I want to be proud of it, and until I'm proud of it, I'm not gonna stop. And it can take years and years and years and years and years, and eventually become a profession. Not like professionally taught profession, but like you can live off of it profession. And I don't know, eventually I also needed something on my resume that looked better than, self-taught producer for I don't know how many years.
Yeah.
So,
fair. That's real. Yeah. Understandable. Yeah. It's So I guess speaking of that, do you do anything now? Do you still work, or are you just kind of living?
I earn my current thing is I earn my income through avatar work, avatar commissions, sales from the website. I also just started taking world commissions because I'm starting to get really comfortable doing worlds for people. And that's currently what my work is basically. Is just I wake up whenever the hell I want. I just turn on my PC, turn on Blender, do some commissions for people, hand them hopefully flawless project. And if it's flawed, I will fix the problems. And that's that. I'm always fixing problems. It's my issue. That doesn't add any extra cost or whatever.
Right.
I don't care. Yeah, that's it. I do their work, and then I eat something, watch with friends, watch shows with friends, play games, go get my alcohol, and get ready for VR for the night. That's my life.
Man, that sounds like a really, really fun life. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds really, really enjoyable and fun. To just making a living off of your passion, and just being able to just kind of you're living within the means that makes the most sense to you, and you're doing the things that bring you the most joy. If only we all could live that kind of life, but I also
that's a very common. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. Go ahead. It's a very common one.
I was just gonna say, it's a very common theme in my family. My brother is self-employed. My other brother is semi-self-employed. My sister is self-employed. My mother is self-employed, and my dad is getting rent. Not rent. When they stop working because they're too old. What is that called again? They get government money.
Yeah, they
get.
Oh, shit, I should know this. I really should know this. Residual? No, that's not it. It's.
I keep forgetting the word.
Yeah. I haven't had to think about that word in a while.
You know,
we know what you're talking
you know
about.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, yeah, it's a very common theme that like I tried to work in normal workspaces with a boss, never worked out. Same with my dad. My dad never liked me working for someone else. We were always like our own bosses. And luckily, every single one of us kind of gets very successful with what they make their passion and what they want to do with their passion. Very blessed with that. Everyone here in my family is extremely creative. My sister is one of the biggest manga artists in Germany.
Oh.
My brother is like crazy, does like insane graphic design stuff that like he's successful with. My other brother is actually a teacher in musical theory, and yeah. And then there's me.
That's
I
really...
just learn and make money with whatever the fuck I want to learn and make money with.
Yeah, which is like, I mean, that's the kind of life that I think a lot of creatives would love to have, to be able to like make a living off of the thing that they're making, the thing that they're creating. And like I feel like that's where things like universal basic income could like come in handy. It's just like people who like ultimately don't want to work but can still make a living doing something creative. Just being able to not have to worry about like working in a traditional job and just being able to like pursue own personal interests and passions. That's where something like that I think would come in handy. But then if not universal basic income, then our AI overlords essentially phasing out your job, which ultimately is what happened to me. I don't have
oh shit, really?
Yeah, I don't have a job. I don't have a job anymore because I'm pretty sure that they're trying to automate what I was doing, which it is what it is. But that's life, and that's okay. I already saw it coming. I already knew it was coming. Nah, it's all right.
Oh my god.
It's all right. Like I'm doing like just like you're doing avatar creation and world creation. With me, I'm streaming and I'm putting my best foot forward and I'm trying to create new shit and trying to continue to do the shit that I'd already was doing when I had a job. And I can only hope that people want to continue to support me in that regard, because I work really hard, and I'm a one person production, so I do my best, just like you do. So I feel that.
You got this. You have so much personality, unironically.
Oh, thank you. I'm hoping that I don't have to return to a traditional job. To be honest with you, I'm honestly hoping that that somehow, some way, things pop off and I'm able to kind of live a life like you, just being able to like wake up whenever you want to wake up, which is essentially what I'm doing right now, and just kind of like do the things that I do and the things that people want to see, and hopefully, to me, like living a life of passion and pursuing one, if you're like inherently creative, like working under someone else is just never going to work. It's never going to really kind of
never.
Yeah. And like I've done it for years, but I absolutely fucking hate it. Like there's so much so many ideas I have, so many creative endeavors I'm pursuing, and things have just been really, really, really cool to be able to just kind of have enough to kind of live, but also to just like be able to pursue the things and just feel what it's like to just like pursue my interests is super, super nice. And I hope that I can be in a position like you where you're confidently doing it. You're not just doing it, you're confidently doing it. I'm just doing it because I'm not quite there yet.
That's the gripe, right?
Yeah.
That's the first moment you gotta go through, unironically.
Yeah.
I used to stream as well, actually.
Really?
A lot too. Yeah, I was a little lucky. My sister started streaming too. Because of her, I got like a huge boost in like my presence.
Mm-hmm.
Because hey, my brother is a streamer too, and the community is kind of like collide because everybody is kind of a shit poster.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fun. But I know exactly what you feel like, because at the time I was streaming, that was exactly what I was doing too. I was doing it and not confidently doing it. I was happy with where I was, but I knew it could get better.
Yeah, and
so I feel you.
Yeah,
just stick with it. I feel like you got a concept here.
Oh, thank you. I'll continue to do my best with it. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get lucky. But I've gotten pretty lucky already No doubt about that. But I need a little bit more. But we'll see. Anyway, enough about me, because this isn't about me. But I appreciate the encouragement. Thank you very much on that.
Of course, I believe in you.
Thank you. So, I may have one, maybe two questions for you left. So, where would you like to be in 2 years? Like, where would you like to be in 2 years?
In 2 years. I hope my career with my avatar stuff has really picked up, and not only that I do it confidently at that point, but like I'm like so relaxed, I can just be like, oh, done, all right, cool, I'm living life, I saved up my money, I have some debt medical bills that I want to pay off. I hope that is done in 2 years. And I hope the person that I'm getting to know at the moment, living in Germany with me as well, cool. I hope that we at that point are like in a deeply established IRL/VR relationship, and yeah, that's it.
Love that.
And down with more HRT and plastic surgery, baby. I need those honkin' lips. That's what I miss.
It's the lips that you're concerned about. It's the lips that you're looking to get.
I need them.
All right.
I have a really feminine figure. Like, this is pretty accurate, except for like these boys, these bad girls here. But,
that's fair.
Eventually.
Yeah. I feel that. I could definitely use a little bit more in that area too. Not gonna lie. Perhaps we'll see. But yeah, I love that. I certainly do hope that for you. Like, you're very hardworking, you're very creative, you're very focused, and you're doing a whole lot. And it's very very cool to see, and to have heard more about like what it is that you do, and how you're just kind of making everything kind of like synergize together. It's very cool to hear. So I want to know, last question, where can people find you?
Twitter and PSHQ. Discord, baby, DM me. Don't be shy. That's basically it. It's literally I feel like the most interactive stuff you can find me is PSHQ, either Discord or the parties. And if you want to join PSHQ Discord, it's the discord.gg/PSHQ. Very simple. Sorry, I had to throw that plug out.
Oh yeah, no worries. No, you don't have to apologize for that. This is about you. This is about you. So no, plug that shit. No worries. All right, so that's where you can find Luna. As for me, if you'd like to find me in places, you can find me on Twitter, x.com/Neferty with 2 eyes, and also obviously if you're watching this on Twitch right now, you're already there. Congratulations! Hit the follow button if you haven't already. But if you haven't, if you're
follow,
watching
subscribe, donate.
Yes. Thank you. All the things. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Neferty with 2 eyes. This will all be down below. So all you have to do is check out for both Luna and myself, they'll be down below. So you'll be able to see that. And you can find me on YouTube at Neferty with 1 eye. And obviously, if you'd like to learn more about what we're doing and what I'm trying to create, you can find me on patreon.com/Neferty. And speaking of that, we are at the tail end of tonight's podcast, essentially. And if you we will have some post content that will be published on Patreon for those people who have subscribed there. So there will be a little bit more coming after this. And with that said, I want to thank you very much for being on my podcast. It was a pleasure.
Thank you
chatting
so much
with
for
you.
inviting me.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Wonderful,
the conversation.
unironically.
Yeah, it really, really it fucking was wonderful. I loved it. Just like learning more about you, your history, where you came from, all the things that you've done and are doing. Are you working on anything? Just really quickly, are you working on anything really like interesting right now? Really quickly.
I mean, if you consider it interesting, I'm currently updating a world for tomorrow, which a friend of mine is throwing a birthday party in, and we're like, it's all birthday themed around her party. It's a really pretty penthouse world, and I mean, that's what I'm working on right now. Outside of my own avatar, I don't do much outside of commissions and stuff, you know.
I got you. Yeah, that's
Yes.
great. That works.
Come through.
I will try
through.
to. I mean, it's
fun.
it's gonna be Friday, so I will definitely try to come through for real. But yeah, thank you again, Luna. We're gonna jump into the post content in just a bit, but before we do that, I just want to say thank you again to people on YouTube for tuning in to this episode of the Sweet Talking Podcast. You've been watching me, your host Nefertiti, with my very lovely guest Luna Moonlight, and I thank you all very, very much for your support on YouTube. I hope you continue to subscribe and enjoy the content that I'm putting out there as I'm able. I do this all by myself, so if you don't see anything from me for a while, it's because I do it all myself, and I'm just having issues, and it takes me a while to do things. So please. Thank you so much for supporting me. I hope you continue to do so, and I look forward to seeing and hearing any likes, comments. Hopefully something resonated with you. Please leave it in the comments and let us know what you thought about this episode. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. So until then, be kind to each other and be kind to yourselves. You never know who may be going through something serious, and I will see you next time. Take care, and have a good day, night, whenever you may be watching this. Take care.